And welcome to another exciting installment of the Terrorisk podcast. I'm here with Chris Divers.
Hello.
The man. He's a man, just like me.
Just a man.
We're both a men.
Amen.
Amen. So, how have you been, man? How's life? How's your day to day? What does your day to day look like usually?
Day to day, surviving. Oh man, just it's life. Entering mid-30s to late 30s. Just what it is.
I asked you before. I was like, "How you doing?" You were like, "Okay," and then you asked me how I was doing, and then I was like, "I'm just thankful for every day." And then you scoffed.
Yeah.
Scoffed. This motherfucker scoffed at me when I expressed gratitude. I'm supposed to see Mike tomorrow, and I can't wait to see his reaction because he's gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, "How you been, man?" And he's like, "Oh, just working and dealing with baby on the way, blah blah blah." And he's gonna be like, "How you been?" And I'll be like, "I'm just thankful for every day." And Mike's
probably not gonna scoff. He's
like, "It's cool, man."
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Then I'm gonna be like, "You look good. You look very well fed. Like very comfortable."
Oh, don't tell him that. No.
Why? Is he insecure about that sort of thing?
No, I'm messing around. No, and I scoff not because I think it's a ridiculous thing to say. It's just like I said, something you hear from time to time. It's like, all right, I'm glad.
It's also kind of like a challenge to say that, right? Because
you must mean it to say it. Yeah, like if you didn't, so it's like what's so great about this guy's life that.
I mean, one of my favorite reactions is like, really? And then my response is
the
like,
last day I could do this by the way.
Oh shit. So they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Would you like to know more? Like Starship Troopers. And it's not. And I'm like, don't worry. I'm not going to try to push you into any religion. Just consider. have you considered the fact that you don't have to be alive and you just want to be, and you are alive? So you should be grateful for that.
It's true.
There's no law of nature that says you need to be alive. We just want to be.
That's true.
If you or I were to die, nothing would really fundamentally change about the world. If anyone were to die, nothing would really fundamentally change about the world.
No, but what changes? It's the effect you have on the people you come across. That's what changes, and that's.
Yeah, people would feel sad, but
feel sad, feel loss.
On a long enough timeline, though, that doesn't really amount to much.
Well, no, but I feel like. The goal to life is to make or I don't know if the goal to life is, but like the
goal of life is not to make a bunch of people feel sad after your death. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, the thing is inevitable. If you have an effect on people, they're going to feel sad when you go because you will eventually go. But it's not to. It's to just affect people's lives in a way. Like I'm very thankful that for the most part, people close to me I haven't really lost people close to me. Friends, not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
People I know, like acquaintances and stuff like that, I've lost in life, sure, but not people I would consider friends, which is.
I guess we both knew like a lot of. I was closer to some than you, I guess. Like Georgie, I was really close with. Tommy, I was really close with.
Exactly. I knew people like that.
Anna Marie, right before she died, I was like doing way too much drugs with her, which I guess should have kind of been like a foreshadowing of like what was gonna happen, because she never seemed okay. But yeah, there was that, and also like EJ. Well, he kind of like offed himself.
I like DJ. I didn't, but he wasn't.
So you can't say you haven't lost friends. But he wasn't.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that's what I'm saying. It's not that I haven't lost people. I have lost people. I've lost people that I've liked. There's people I think that were like decent that have that I've lost, but no one close to me. No like good friends. No, not that much close family.
I feel like Brent is like close to going. I mean, God forbid he does ever die.
I like him. That
would be your first close friend that you lost. No, I don't really consider Brent a close friend. I definitely consider Brent a close friend.
No. It's not a bad thing to me that we're not close, but he's a guy I've known for a long time, and I can't say bad things about.
Yeah, maybe you could pride yourself in knowing that you've regularly affiliated with people that aren't likely to meet early ends.
Yeah, I guess. But it's not a conscious thing, I guess, because it'd be your friends are sometimes an extension of yourself. So like. If I was hanging out with people that like seem like they're not going to be around for much longer, that would be saying a lot about me.
Yeah, well, personally, between me and you, like you're probably even if I make like really close friends, like later on in life or in the present, like when you and I may not hang out as much, like the things we've talked about in the past will always enrich my future relationship just because of the shit we've talked about. Like I was saying before, how I was arguing with my Irish American friend over whether an Italian could ever be smart enough to be president. And like I ended up quoting what you told me. You were like, my dad's a retired detective and he told me that the Italians could have taken over the criminal underworld if they only knew how to read. And I was like,
well, not that crassish, but yeah, like if any of them had finished high school, yeah, like Michael Franzese, like if they had a bunch of Michael Franceses, like
because I was arguing, my Irish Italian friend was saying no, an Italian would never be president. I was like, I don't know, man. They were used to be like really good at painting and like astronomy and shit. It's like, nah, man. Like, and then I got involved. And then I remember what you said about the crime families, and I was like, damn, he's right though. Like,
yeah. That's funny though, because they've been white longer than the Irish have, and yeah, we've had an Irish president.
I think it's the Catholicism that really like does them in.
It doesn't really matter anymore. Like who's the last Catholic president?
I have no idea.
Joe Biden.
Was he Catholic?
Yeah, apparently. I didn't even know that. That's how little it matters now.
I know Kennedy was a fucking Catholic.
Kennedy was the first that won. Al Smith ran for president back in the end or towards the end of Prohibition, and he was an Irish. Well, his parents were Irish immigrants. He grew up in New York City. He was Catholic, and they ran an anti-immigrant, anti-Catholic campaign against him, and that's why he didn't win.
Huh.
Al Smith was the mayor of New York, and then governor. Maybe not governor, mayor.
It's not the public perception. It's not the public perception of Catholicism that's the problem. It's that Catholicism inherently is not really a politically empowering religion.
I'm saying it doesn't matter anymore, as long as you're Christian, at least. Like now, it's like, well, at least you're a Christian.
It does matter, because could you imagine a Mormon becoming president, which is becoming like way more likely?
Yeah, and wasn't Romney Mormon? Mitt Romney? I think Mitt Romney was Mormon. Yeah,
dude. All right.
Well, look how they didn't care. Like, I don't think they care as long as you're Christian.
So have you ever heard this like semi-conspiracy theory about how like, oh, Mormons are taking over the intelligence agencies like FBI and CIA? And they're right.
They've been.
Because there are a lot of Mormons working for intelligence agencies.
And in intelligence agencies, you want people with clean backgrounds, clean cut, don't drink.
So it's funny that
those are Mormons.
You say that, but all right, let me put a more like cultural demographic spin on it. Like the Mormons are the last Americans who are that forward-facing, solid-jawed, fucking short-haired, like clean-cut, fucking non-drinking Reaganite Americans. Like where else are they going to consistently pull talent from?
100%.
You know, same. Yeah, like
no, you're right. You could argue that's how they've ingratiated themselves. At one point, Mormons were like this wild cult.
So it's not that
the government sent off to Utah because no one lived in Utah.
No, it's not that the Mormons are taking over the government. It's that the government is exploiting Mormons as like good American stock for their fucking shit.
Yeah.
They're the only good American stock left.
Yeah, because they don't do anything interesting.
I mean, they do a lot of interesting shit. They're fucking weirdos when it comes to their beliefs, honestly. In the contemporary, widely accepted context that we know of all Abrahamic traditions, Mormons do stand out.
Well, because they have much more stricter rules. Like you can't be a lapsed or casual Mormon.
Well, they believe that Jesus went to fucking Mexico, for fuck's sake. Like,
yes, they did. And then he buried. Well, no, he didn't bury it. I
guess they believe Jesus went to Japan.
Yeah. And then buried a whole New Testament in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, who's to say they're wrong? You know, it's like,
well,
to me, what really does matter for them is all the focus they put on like family and family lineage,
and that's how they've ingratiated themselves too. Like,
well, that's how you consolidate power. Yeah. If you really want to consolidate power for your people, all you have to do is determine who your people are right now and keep meticulous account of everyone who breeds, of who they breed with. Just keep all the family trees in account. Once you do that, you automatically start consolidating power, because automatically you're controlling not just like the clairvoyance of one lifetime, but everything, all the past lifetimes connected, all the future ones.
Yeah, but I mean, it's something that's gone on for thousands of years. Like it's like royalty or nobility. Like it's very important to like know where you come from. But actually, I watched a whole video the other night. I do this all the time where I try to watch something going, this will be boring. I'll be able to fall asleep. I watch like this.
This is fucking fascinating, man.
Yeah, I watched this college professor like
Professor Jiang.
No. But for an hour, he was like, all right. He's like, let's ignore the impossibilities of time travel. He's like, let's say you could time travel and you wanted to spend a week or two in medieval Europe, and he just listed exactly what you would encounter and stuff like that. And one thing he said was, it's not like if he's like, it's you would think like if you were like if you were in white and you were wearing modern clothes, they might like freak out and like
kill you. Yeah,
kill you.
but that's
He's
not
like-
the case.
He's like, no, he's like, they would be, because like they know people come from different places, and also there wasn't that type of racism back then. There was more class racism,
As opposed
so they
to
would come up to
ethnic.
you and they'd be like, well, who are you, and where do you come from? Because
They're not going
it
to
was
think
a-
you're an alien. They're going to think, what country is this fucking guy from?
not even that, not what country you're from, but like what you do for a living, where you are on the societal like totem pole, so they know how to interact with you and like how to talk to you.
I think that in
'Cause
the
there was
medieval,
rules to
in the
that,
Dark
so-
Ages, the minute you could show like literacy is over. Like they're already going to look at you different, you know?
No, like if you walked into like his whole thing was if you walked into like a town in medieval like England or like northern France or something like that, like you could like even an example, not you, but give an example of how like there's a book written by these Chinese Christians that Kublai Khan I think sent over to Europe to like to talk to leaders. 'Cause that's what he would do. Like
Yeah.
he would find something that people he had that's something in common with the country that he was interested in talking to. So he sent Chinese Christians over, and they wrote a book about it. They had a great time. They really did. People were fascinated by them because all that mattered to them was like, all right, you're Christian, okay, good. That's now I can keep talking to you, but like, what else do you do besides that? Like, oh, we're diplomats. You're diplomats, okay. So now you get to talk to you could deal with you're of high society.
What do you think is more of a tie between people, like strangers? Do you think they'll be more connected through the same religion or through the same like nationality?
Those usually come hand in hand, so it depends.
No, I don't
said
believe that.
Well, having the same nationality and religion usually come hand in hand.
I don't believe that though.
Give me an example.
Christianity, Judaism.
No, but there's not. So, but all right. So, what's a nationality? I'm sorry. What I'm understanding is like people get along with the same nationality. Like,
Let's say we're two strangers and we both speak Russian. Do you think that's gonna make us tighter, as opposed to say it's like you're Mexican and I'm Italian, but we're both Catholic and deeply Catholic from deeply Catholic families? Like, what do you think is going to be a stronger like tie between those two strangers?
the second one, only because with Russian, like, because people that aren't Russian speak Russian. Russian is a huge language that covers, like, the Soviet Union, like, covered an entire, like, all these other small countries and different cultures. Like, there's people who speak Russian.
Yeah, but what if the two Catholic guys speak like the Mexican Catholic can only speak Spanish, whereas the other Catholic from Italy can only speak Italian? I mean, they would have a lot harder of a time communicating than say like two Russians. Maybe one is Catholic and the other one is Jewish, but they're both Russian, you know, and they could probably communicate and transfer a lot more ideas than the two like.
Well,
ones
sure, yeah. But that's like an additional bond.
Yeah, I mean, what is dicey though is language. It's like language does kind of. Like usually the language you speak does denote your nationality, but it's also like it
but
could
so
also.
like in Italian, go like, I mean, I understand what he's saying. He's like, but I at least understand their family structure or whatever, because it's like mine. Their moral background is like mine.
Yeah.
So like, cause that's why like Irish, Italians, and Mexicans, like, or at least anyone from like South America that's Catholic, like, they all get along pretty well, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I
And,
would
like,
hope they would.
Part of that is Catholicism. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, no, I mean, I also feel that way about Muslims too. Like, I feel like Muslims from all different walks of life can probably get down. But Catholics are special. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, compared to the rest of like Christendom, Christdom, like the Catholics do things a little differently. Kind of like Mormons, actually. Mormons do things differently. Catholics do too.
No, but the Catholics set the standard. They did everything first. This was the way to be Christian. Then Protestantism just separated from that, and then there's offshoots from there. Catholicism is the original Christianity. So it's not like we do things different. Like, that's the way you're supposed to do things. Everyone else does things different.
Yeah, because then it gets really dicey considering the fact that like it's how people feel about idolatry. You know, how people feel about lesser deities from the Son and the Father, and you know, like when it comes to like patron saints, even the archangels. Because that's a big deal. I mean, like that delineation between like, you know, just being so like strictly Trinitarian, which could be fucked up. Like if you obsess over the Trinitarian doctrine, that could lead you to some dark paths. Like, you know, it's because of Paul, really. Wasn't Paul the guy who kind of like started like really changing shit?
In what? In the Catholic Church?
In Christian.
Oh, and in Christianity, or
in Christianity generally.
Well, yeah, he's like the biggest. Paul is the biggest, like, is like the. because like most of the New Testament after like the gospel, like after Jesus and people that were around Jesus, like a lot of that is Paul and like who Paul wrote to and stuff like that. So like he, I guess, kind of really expanded
Yeah.
to an extent. Also, he went from like he was Jewish at first and then became Christian. So like that was an important connection.
Yeah. I think what's really interesting though is when like
Got nothing to do with that.
it's when the function of a church. I mean, like let's bring it to the modern day. In the function of a church in the modern day, not just as a place of worship, you know, where like people come to like do their service to God and Christ, but also like as a. I want to give an example for like Korean church, because Korean church is church still. You know, they still go and they got to do all the church stuff, but it's also like clearly like a huge linchpin for Korean communal like
100%.
exchange.
Yeah.
You know, like without Korean church, Koreans would literally have nothing else to like come together about. You know,
In America, that is, at least in New York too, like that is what church was. Like that was your, because there was, even for Catholic churches,
like if I want to marry a Korean girl, my best solution is to just go to Korean church.
Yeah. Also, if you wanted to get to know other Koreans that are experiencing life the way you are, you'd go there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same way. Like, I went to like when Pope John Paul II died. He was Polish. My mother's mother is half Polish. Her father is Polish.
Yeah.
So we went to a Polish church that day. They do everything in Polish.
Yeah.
I didn't know that existed in Brooklyn. Like I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's what that was. Like every community has that, and like yeah.
Yeah. And then there's like the extremes with Christianity. You know, there's like Orthodox Christians.
Not an extreme. That is the first split. Like that is first. There was only
The OGs of the split of
schism. They did
Yeah.
the first schism. Yeah, like they're the first ones to split, like from the Catholic Church. Like
things I like about Catholicism. I like their
very good lore. Very good lore.
I like their acknowledgement of archangels and demons, because like the way they portray, which is very interesting, because the Christians aren't the only ones. The Catholics aren't the only one to do this, but when there's like an actual, well thought out, very contextualized depiction of like the legions of hell, as well as, you know, God's legionnaires, you know, like it's always it's organized like a military, you know, like hell has their capos and their lieutenants and all that. Heaven has their generals and their lieutenants. Like it's great. That to me is kind of telling, you know, it's like, oh, so it's already contextualized as this battle, and they're all representative of good and evil. Each general of hell is representative of like a very dark facet of human nature, like greed, like a propensity for adultery or addiction. And on the opposite end, like each one also has a counterpart, you know, like if there's a general demon in the legions of hell, there's going to be an archangel to counter him, and then they all have their like sub legions, you know. It's all mapping out the human condition. Ultimately, these are all representative of different facets of the human condition. The fact that they exist means the fact that they're also in us, which is, I think, like you could say like, oh, they created, if you take it in a literal sense, or you could say they're just manifestations of the human condition. I think they're both valid. I'm not one to say like, oh, they're just like, it's like hypnagogic, psychosomatic manifestations and none of it's actually materially real. I don't believe that. Like, I wouldn't call myself like outwardly religious, or actually maybe not religious is the wrong word. I wouldn't say like I define myself by a specific religious institution, but I definitely do believe in God. I definitely do believe in like a source of all this like quantum consciousness, you know, like I do believe there, and that thing is intelligent, and it could be an almighty divine being, or it could just be this like group of dudes. But basically how that affects me in my life, my day-to-day life. Well, I could say that I worry about things a lot less, you know, compared to when I was like agnostic or like atheist or whatever. Like I would say now, like I worry about things less, because if we're all children of God, whether you're my father, whether you're my boss, whether you're a bully, whether you're just a person who needs help, whatever, we're all children of God. So I don't have to look at you as like so divorced from me. I could look at another person and be like, they're just a different version of me. You know, they're going through their own fuck ups. They're going through their own triumphs, their own journeys, which is very hard to do for a lot of people, especially like, you know, people who get married, who have kids, who have grudges, you know, because like you can't live that. You can't have those two perspectives at one, even though like, honestly, let's be real. My perspective is probably the truer one, where everyone is just children of God. But once you have a kid, you can't look at your kid as an equal. You know, like this is someone who relies on you to bring them up and to raise them, you know, to one day surpass you, and then you could be done with your duties as a leader, and then you could finally go back to being a child of God. which is the natural state. But to function in the material world and to contribute to the material world, to be a father, to be a boss, to be a business owner, to be a millionaire, to be whatever, you have to play the game. And to play the game is divorcing you from your soul. So it's like this weird balancing act, you know, just to live life. And this also like makes relationships a lot trickier. Like, what if you're cognizant of all of the meta framework of life? Like, how are you gonna, like, you find a wife and she's either gonna be too stupid, too bitter, too damaged. I'm sure women think the same thing though. Like, if they are spiritually aware, I guess.
But people change. Things are always changing. Like, you've grown up with people. You've seen people who like you can never think that they would be like the type of people that get married, buy a house, have a kid, and be like normal. But they do. People change.
Nah, everyone who I saw get lead that life was exactly who I expected to.
Okay.
Everyone, literally all of them. I have known a lot of people who did it so far. So.
All right. Well, I mean, maybe just the capability, but at least like you saw that they changed. Like at least you saw like they weren't. It's not to say like somebody wouldn't always be motherly or something like that, but like watch somebody go from caring about themselves to caring about the life they've created or whatever.
I think that makes perfect sense. What more likely outcome is there for a selfish man to eventually want a wife, kids, his own legacy, his own to lead his own bloodline? I think that's a perfectly natural and selfish, petty human thing. And when I say petty and not selfish, I don't mean as those things as bad. I mean them as natural. It's a perfectly natural, petty, and selfish thing to want to. Oh, I just want to do what everyone else is doing. Well, I want to do what my mom and dad did. It's fine. But let's not kid ourselves as if that's some kind of like great like the ideal either. None of it is ideal. You're still gonna, now what? Like they're gonna be slaves for capitalism just so that they can put fucking food in their fucking kids' mouths. And there's no guarantee that their kid won't eventually hate their guts eventually, which they probably will.
It's true. There's no guarantee of that.
And there's no guarantee that they won't get divorced anyway, because like let's look at statistics. I'm sorry, numbers don't lie. That means half my friends who are married are probably going to get divorced. I know that.
Probably more than half.
I'm not going to tell them that, but I know that, you know? So it's like they're betting on themselves, which is fine.
I also think marriage is there he goes. At least marriage has changed, or at least the way our generation views marriage. Like, a lot of us
now wives get to keep their last names and their own bank.
No, I know. I mean, like people are getting married older. They're not taking it as like I feel like as lightly as you used to.
Oh yeah, like let's get married when we're 19 and 20, babe.
Hey babe, let's get married. I'll marry you. You will? Yeah, nothing will ever change. We're 23. We'll be the same forever.
It's like, babe, I know you're 19 and I'm 20, and I'll be out of the Marines in 4 years, and then we'll, yeah, that's gonna go well, I'm sure.
I'm really young now, but I'll be the exact same forever. So let's get married.
Oh my god.
That's what I mean. Like just and like people aren't like, oh, you're pregnant, you gotta get married, or before people start calling you a whore and call your child a bastard. Your bastard can't get a job. Like it.
Look, I know what saved me, and I know what saved you. What saved me was never going to public school, like never actually going to never indoctrinating myself in the American school system.
Where'd you go to school?
What?
Where'd you go to school?
I went to remember? I spent the years from 14 to 17 in group homes, remember? In foster care.
Yeah, I know.
I went to 6 different high schools. I went to Tottenville. I went to Newdorp. I went to Tottenville twice. I went to Newdorp. I went to Beach Channel. I went to Flushing. I went to that weird.
Yeah, but that's my point was, you weren't it's not because you were I didn't go to public school, but you're saying you never got you got bounced around so much.
Because I never went.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
And what saved you was God. Even if you didn't believe in God, even when you didn't feel like you were living by God, what saved you was always God. Yeah, there were points when I feel like even when you were trying to do bad shit, you were so conditioned with a solid ancient framework of morality that even.
Yeah, well, but it's not a good thing.
Yeah, but still, at least you're not dead or in jail.
Yeah, I suppose. But I also just don't think that would have my own moral compass would have stopped me from doing that, because it does now.
What is your own moral compass?
I don't do things that feel bad or wrong. Are bad and wrong.
What feels bad and wrong?
I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. I don't do things that feel bad or wrong. And I think that they're.
I think there's nothing
hurting
wrong.
people, hurting anything that hurts somebody else
Look,
to me is not.
I think there's nothing wrong with saying that, admitting that your mental framework was literally informed by a religious institution, because the religious
Listen,
listen,
that's what it was.
listen.
Absolutely, sure.
The religious institutions' moral frameworks were informed by something far more ancient than them.
Sure.
Remember, someone taught Jesus. You know, like someone taught the Jews that taught Jesus. Someone taught the people that taught those Jews. It's none of it's original. So don't worry about it.
I know that. Yeah.
At least you say you had something, because the reason why people are immoral isn't because they have the wrong thing. It's because they have nothing. It's because all they have is making money, getting status, feeling good. That's what makes not having, like, not losing. You know, not losing shit. That's what it's animal. It's barbarism.
Yeah, but I just don't like. I'm just not saying it has to be like religion. Like, if you don't grow up like religious or Christian, that means you don't, like, you can't tell the difference between right and wrong. You don't have that innate, like.
It has to be metaphysical. Maybe not religious, but it has to at least be spiritual.
It doesn't have to be.
It does.
I don't think so.
It does. What else do you have?
I mean, I don't know.
What, philosophy? You know what the idea, what the moral conclusion in, like, materialist philosophy is? You should kill yourself. Literally.
Yeah.
In all materialist frameworks of philosophy, the ideal conclusion is fucking kill yourself. If you want to be a good person, fucking kill yourself. Yeah. Like, you look at, Nietzsche, you look at Marx, Socrates. I mean, ultimately, if you want to be moral, I mean, because their concerns wasn't being moral, wasn't being the most good. No, each philosopher had their own, like, concern for idealism. But their conclusion was, in a moral sense, as we know it, especially in the Western world, the best thing you could do to be a good person is fucking kill yourself.
Right, but what I'm talking about is knowing, is having an innate feeling of what's good and what's wrong, without necessarily being told, oh, like, well, if you do bad things, you will go to hell. Like, you'll pay in an afterlife. You won't pay necessarily in this life. But
so don't do it out of fear, basically. Don't be a good person out of fear.
Yeah, because you feel like you're like, this is wrong. Like, I won't feel good if I do this. Even if you get away with something, it's.
So yeah, okay. So then, all right. So that's a scarcity mentality. But anything that grows out of a scarcity mentality will be bad, right? Whether it's doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing, or trying to be true. If you do it out of fear. If you do it out of, like, fear of loss of status, loss of safety.
But that's religion. Religion is fear. Like, that's what that ingratiates into. So that's what I'm trying to say.
But not always. It's not always fear. Because remember, there's people, right? Like, say, like, alcoholics. Like, they have nothing left to fear because they have nothing. Their wife left and their kids left and they have no job. They're living on the streets. And then they find God. That's something else, That's like where it's they're not
the worst fucking people on the face of the earth.
I know, but at least they're not.
People like that.
Really? Like born agains?
I hate born agains so much.
Let's get into that. Why?
No, because it's just like it's fine. It's good that, like, this you're like, I can't. I've lost all control of myself. I put my trust in self and the higher power,
which is fine. It works,
which is fine. But it's everything to them, and like they from then on, any bad behavior they have, they excuse to that. And I can't
let's
stand
admit that this type of person is a spectrum. There's all different kinds of this specific type of person, right? There's the people who are just, like, very pushy, very obnoxiously, like they're imposing it on you. They're like projecting it on you. It's like, oh, I did this and God saved, so you should do this too because you're blah 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 without it.
That's part of it, yeah.
And then there's the people who are like, they have important jobs and my alcoholism almost destroyed my whole life, but God saved me. Yeah. And, like, maybe won't say they're smart, they're lucid enough, in the material world to at least keep their wits about them,
Yeah, but it's never taking responsibility for things. Like, it's not an initial thing necessarily, but, like, they no longer hold themselves accountable. It's just, I'm struggling, I'm being tested. This is, God will see me through or whatever. Or, like, I could. Well, people were like, I just can't, like, people that aren't, like, that didn't have the same religion as I do. Like, I just can't. I can't deal with them. I can't talk to them. I can't treat them like people because it'd be too much of a test or, like, shit like.
So then what you're telling me is, like, all right, so that's like the like level 1, which is just, like, blind indoctrination. I'm just gonna follow it and it works for me, so therefore it
has. Those are born again. It's all level 1.
But then there's level 2.
It's level 2.
Well, I suppose level 2 is, like, saying, like, well, this worked for me. But why did it work? Forget about everyone else for a second. Let's say I'm a recovering alcoholic and it worked for me. Believing in God and faith. Let's say I was smart enough to not focus on other people. right? And just say, let's say I discovered gratitude in my journey, right? And I said, wow, like with all the evil shit I did in my life as an addict, there's no way I deserve to be saved like this. Why me? Like, why do I deserve to be saved, right? And then if you start focusing on that thread instead of the everyone else,
there must be a reason. I must serve a higher purpose.
No.
To tell everybody about this.
No, you pull on that thread. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah. So you pull on the other thread instead. It's like, why? You start questioning, why do I deserve to be saved like this? If you were genuinely saved from your addiction, trust me, the first thing you should feel is like, it's like kissing ground for the first time after being stranded at sea. You're like, oh my God. It's relief. It's gratitude and relief. So if you follow through with that feeling instead, suddenly it becomes like, why me? And then you start digging deep into yourself, and then you discover your soul. And it's like, oh, the reason why I was doing all this fucked up shit to myself and others is because I forgot I had a soul. What is my soul? And then you start investigating that. It's like, oh shit, that's the thing that connects me from literally that's the thing that connects me to literally everyone and everything else. We all have souls. We're all children of God. Holy shit, everyone's just another version of me. What I do to, right? That's the good ending. The bad ending is what you're describing of the born agains, you know?
That's most of them.
But well, you can't. I mean, come on. Like, you can't expect everyone to like choose.
No, I know. I'm generalizing.
Yeah. Anyway,
but I have met a lot of them.
Yeah. So wait. That's the. Anyway, wait. Finish your thought. Actually,
no, that's it. I'm just saying I've had like a interaction with a lot of born agains. So I am generalizing, but like a lot of the ones that I've met, at least in the way that I met them, like I haven't liked any of them.
You know what's fucked up? Like, I never get to meet born agains. You know who I mostly meet?
What?
Haven't died yet. You know, like born again, you have to die first. Like, your life. Basically, that's what they mean. It's like
everybody else. To them, it's everybody else. But what do you mean die again? It's exactly like people that haven't hit rock bottom and have.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're just on their way down. Like I never get to like deal with the people you deal with, which is like I hit rock bottom and now I'm up and now I'm gonna be obnoxious about it. Like for me, it's like they're not even. They didn't even do that yet.
Yeah, but like I like them better because they take responsibility for their actions. They know why they're where they are. They know where they're going.
Honestly,
agains are just like they don't even tell you. They don't even address how they got to the bad part in their life where they were.
Yeah, but what are you more afraid of though? Like people who have hit rock bottom and either act like that, the way you describe or the way I describe, or people who haven't hit rock bottom yet.
You mean afraid? I'm not afraid of either of them.
I'm not afraid. Worried for, I should say.
Worried for the people who haven't hit rock bottom.
Yeah, because that's going to be, that's way more whatever. Anyway, that concludes the first segment. So you want to take a break or you want to keep going? Okay, so we're back. And at this point of the episode, I like to talk about ideas, philosophy and stuff. So we could talk about what my dad said in the conversation I had with him before. We could talk about how, like he said, capitalism is the only ism that's worked.
I find that interesting, yeah.
He's a capitalist. I think my dad, I would classify him as a libertarian.
Well,
I bet your dad's a fucking libertarian too.
Well, ideally, I feel like a lot of us are libertarians, but
libertarians also the biggest.
But it doesn't work.
The biggest sin of libertarianism is like, oh, what? So you excuse pedophilia if it makes money, and that's kind of
no. But it's more so like, hey, just like leave everybody alone, like. We're not gonna it's just small government not being intrusive. Like just hey, just do whatever you want.
That's impossible.
Exactly. That's why it's so fucking stupid. It doesn't work. It was a good idea like a few hundred years ago, but just not the way society works now. Like.
So you think communism would work?
No. Would communism in the sense that like the state controls the means of production? No.
Well, it can't be the state. It has to be something else.
Well, it shouldn't be like the problem with every form of government. I feel like is that you always end up with a
corrupt government.
Yeah, but you end up with a not oligarchy, right? No, when a small group of people control all the money and all the power,
like corporate interests, like
right. But I'm saying like
private interests,
right? But
that's an oligarchy.
That's an oligarchy. Okay, yes, that's the right word.
Oligopoly.
Yeah, it just shouldn't like that's the problem. Like it shouldn't like there shouldn't just be
consolidated wealth to that degree.
Correct.
But you can't stop that if you allow free capital and trade.
That's why you can't. And, like we don't either. Like it's not laissez-faire. Like there are like regulations to things. There are like monopolies are illegal.
They're not. Monopolies are
well,
not illegal.
It depends. If you know the right person, you grease the right palms, it's okay. It's not illegal.
Well, no one's ever gotten brought down from their wealthy ass position because of a monopoly. They always got brought down because of some fraudulent offering from their investors or some shit. It's always some guys who are like the people who get caught for like shit that gets them to jail. It's never because like, oh, we ran a monopoly. We were too good at doing business. No, they go to jail because they promised a lot of people, a lot of investors, a lot of things, and they failed to fucking deliver, and they just took the money and left.
Well, see, that's when you go to jail is when like you rip off rich people.
Yeah,
that's when you go to jail, and that's when people get in trouble.
100%.
You can't rip off rich people.
But you don't go to jail for controlling the entire market and manipulating markets and all that shit.
No, I'm not saying you do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like those are the type of regulations that we have. Like this is not a true.
We don't have any regulations that prevent you from manipulating markets. We only have regulations that prevent you from fucking over rich people.
Right.
Yeah.
Like in the sense where like it's like the phone companies, like when we were little kids, the company, it was like Bell Atlantic. That was and they had smaller companies under them. Like that was
shell companies.
Yeah, Bell South, Bell
subsidiaries.
Right, and like and the government came after them, but like the government, nobody went to jail. They didn't get fined. They were just told like, hey, you have to like break up this monopoly you have.
You think that's bad? Look at fucking 2008. That was the pinnacle. That was the.
No. So Bell Atlantic like it shut off and like broke up and became Verizon. And then you had AT&T, you had Nextel, you had Sprint, you had T-Mobile, you had there's even more that I can't think of offhand. And like what happened? Like now again, there's like 3 because they all bought each other up like afterwards, and no one's complaining because it looks like there's 3 separate companies. Like
they're all in bed together.
Absolutely, like
but
yeah,
the main pimp.
They manipulate the market because like that's why like they used to charge us based on minutes. Because minutes used to cost money, but now they don't. All right, we're paying for data.
So that's one racket, and these suppose these rackets are arranged like a pyramid. Like at the top of all these separate rackets, like mobile data and fucking.
Well, it was an example I was giving.
Like cable TV or say like wholesale supermarket goods. Like let's say these are all separate rackets that are all secretly controlled by small groups. What do you think is a top racket?
The top racket?
I think I have an answer. I want to hear your answer
though.
As far as we are concerned.
As far as we're concerned?
Yeah.
Operating system?
I think it's banks. I think banks are the top racket.
Oh yeah, well, because I mean, like, yeah, well, they can't. You can't fail. You can't go down. Because
without money and banks, like, what is the true value of a valuation of a person? It's their energy. It's the effort they put into things, right? Like the effort they put into a craft or a skill or a farming or a resource they're cultivating. Money is just literally a middleman between your actual value as a person with like goods and services you could purchase. Because like, let's say you're a dentist, like, what are you going to do? Like, every time you want like to buy like food for dinner, you have to go into the supermarket and say, who needs dental work? I'll trade you for tomatoes. It's like, you can't do that. That's why you need money.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the government dictates the value of your money.
Yeah.
Based on
some arbitrary resource like gold, which was a good one, but we apparently stepped away from that.
That wasn't an arbitrary resource. That was a resource. Like that was legit. Like that's something you could.
Yeah, but you can't eat gold. You can't keep yourself warm with gold. You can't build your house out of gold. I mean, you can, but no.
No, but you could trade gold for that. Could you not?
For what? Well, why? What can gold do for you?
What can gold can buy you things.
Gold, yeah, besides that, though, like what practical value does gold actually have in your survival? You can't eat gold. You can't you can't use gold as a blanket.
Right, but that's what currency is. Currency is just an assurance by an entity that like, hey, like I'm good for this. I'm exchanging this for your service. Like I'm not giving you a service, but I am giving you this piece of paper or this mark that tells you like, hey, somebody else, a bigger organization, is guaranteeing that this is worth something. You could take this and then you could exchange it for a service.
Yeah. So I think the whole point of currency is not the resources backed by. The whole point of currency is recognizing as humans the most valuable resource. What is it actually? It's not fucking gold. It's not pieces of paper. It's not social status. What really is the most valuable resource as far as humans are concerned?
A commodity service.
It's time.
Information, time. Okay.
Because time is the one thing that we all have a limited supply of. We're all constantly losing and we can never get it back. Henceforth, the time we put into something is literally the most, it's the most valuable resource. Because the time you put into something could turn into millions of dollars. It could turn into your death. It could turn into another person's death. It could turn into millions of people's deaths. It could turn into millions of people's lives saved. Time truly is, as far as humans are concerned, the basest, most valuable, because without time, we're nothing. Without time, we're dead. So time truly, like without gold, we could still live. Without money, we could still live. Without food, we could still live. We just have to find more food. But time, you can't find more time. Time is something that you're always going to be losing and you're always going to be in a limited scarcity of. So therefore, money, all right, so the crude way to put it is that what's the real resource backing money? It was never gold, it was debt. Now, what is debt really representative of is time owed. Is the time you're going to have to spend to pay this debt back. That's what debt really is. It's all just reflections of time. These are all manifestations or reflections of the valuation of the time you spent on something and the time you have left on this fucking earth.
I would say debt is more of it's almost like a promise or a guarantee that like
It's time. It's all based on time.
okay, yeah.
So this is what this should teach us about money, is that money is not about a resource. Money is not about like gold. Money is not about oil. Money is about time, period, and energy. Because let's say you have infinite time, but you have no energy to do anything.
Right, but you can't. So like you can. So it's the thing. Like the information and the ability to to build a house. Like the information's there. You could do that.
Anyone has the information to build
Exactly.
a house. Yeah.
You could do that yourself.
But it says you have the time and energy.
That could cost you time, and if you have enough of currency, money, you
could buy other people's time
to do that for you.
Yes.
But so like that's the thing. But like just if you didn't have currency and you want, how do you trade your time to somebody else? You can't. That is how you trade your time to somebody else.
But you could leverage your skills to not have to sacrifice as much time to be able to get the currency. For example, let's say you put in like not time to make money, but let's say you put in time to get really good at something like dentistry or haircutting.
Well, that's what you're doing. Like in the meantime, that's why like you pay for other things to be done for you so that you can focus.
Exactly.
Yes. But what I'm saying is you can't like that is why currency exists. Like yeah, it's a way to I suppose to buy time, but like you can't literally do that. Like and like when you pay somebody to do the things that you don't want to do, like build a house,
you're buying time. You're buying their time.
You're buying their time. You're paying them, and like what you're paying them in is going to buy them time in the back end. Like they one day can stop doing these things.
Yeah.
Because
ideally, if they don't fuck up, yeah.
Right. But currency is that in between. It's
but there is a baser leverage to be in a position to spend less time to get those certificates of time spent for valuation to be able to trade, right? It's the skills. It's the time you invest, not in to buy food for the next day, or not in to pay your rent, or not in to fucking pay your car insurance. No, it's the time you invest to learn new things that most people don't know how to do. For example, I know how to do swordsmanship, and I'm not going to say that's a particularly marketable skill. However, if someone out there needed a guy to kill someone with a sword in a proper way, I would you bet your ass I'm going to charge them fucking out the nose for it.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Or if someone needed me to, I don't know, like make a song in a way that only I can, I'm going to fucking charge a lot for it because that's the time I put in to develop that skill. So yeah, it's all time. Time is truly the most valuable resource as far as human beings are concerned.
And when do you realize you're wasting your money on something? When you realize like, hey, I could do that. This is not like you're watching it in real time.
Like cars, for example. And the new car market is really geared towards making consumers forget that they could sustain themselves. They have more agency in their products, in their property than they think. You know, like most people, they get a car and they're like, I can never change my own oil. I can never even inflate my own fucking tires. I can't change my own spark plugs, you know, like, and you're always going to pay like 10 times as much as that labor really would cost you if you did it.
Yeah.
Because you want to save the time.
Right. But yes, and you'd have to understand like,
dude, I could wash my own fucking nice clothes and iron it myself, but no, I'm going to take it to a dry cleaner and I'm going to fucking, pay for their time.
You know, I got a flat tire about a month ago. I had a flat tire without having run flats in like years. So I had to change it and put a donut on for the first time in so long. I was so upset.
You have to screw the jack by hand and all that shit.
Yeah, but I know how to do that,
Yeah.
obviously. But like I was doing, like I have to jack the car up. I know what part it goes on, but I have to like line it up, put the thing together, jack it up. I had to, and then I realized I'm like, fuck, I'm supposed to like loosen each like nut before I lift it up. So I put it back down, loosened all the nuts, put it back up.
Is that true?
Yeah, because it's
gonna pull it down and it's gonna make it harder.
You don't want to like you don't want to jack it up and then.
I always just jacked it up and then loosened it after, but yeah.
No, because it's too like it could be too tight. Because it's easier like if
it's easier on Japanese cars because they have such light like small wheels and.
Well, no, but like I could put the jack on it and like just stomp instead of worrying about like trying to like so I could just stomp and loosen it.
Your way is the smarter way, yeah.
Yeah. But I did it like it's smarter way, but I forgot the smarter way, and then I was like, God damn it!
Yeah, I got to do it.
I went backwards. I'm like, well.
Well, now you know. With the time spent in that, you know never to do that again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it re-reminded me because it's been so long since I did that.
When I got my first flat in that fucking in that PT Cruiser, I was like so fucking shot and worried. I just went right away to YouTube. Like how to change a flat tire on this model car, and it was like some lady in like a business skirt and like a blazer, and she was like in heels, and she was like, "I'm gonna teach you how to change the flat tire on this." I was like, "Well, she could do it, then I could fucking do this," you know?
Yeah, the first time I had one was I probably was like 17 or 18. I looked it up and I just did it. I remember my grandparents told me my uncle, who was older than my mom, the first time he had a flat, like he like cried, called my grandfather, he had to come and like do it for him.
Yeah. Well, now I'm at this point where it's like I've like fucked around with my own cars. I learned how to drive stick. Where it's like, you know, I used to look at you and Igor like those guys like no cars. Now I'm like, you motherfuckers can't even drive stick. I'll teach you though. I want to teach you and Igor how to drive stick. I think you guys would both really enjoy this experience because after
I'm down to. I'd love to learn
because I could teach you on. I think my car is a better car to learn to drive stick than that fucking V8 Mustang, and I'll teach you on my car. Yeah. It's a very forgiving clutch, you know.
Because like that was the thing too. Like when you got that car, like I want to teach you stick. I'm like, fuck, on a Mustang.
Yeah, but no, I could teach you on this fucking 4-cylinder, like 6-speed. It's a great car to learn, and like the clutch is very forgiving. And I think if you and Igor learned how to drive stick, like you would look at cars with a complete. Because that's what happened to me. I was like driving automatic,
you start to understand how engines actually work. Like
and like you understand like the 4-stroke combustion cycle, like of every engine in a car that you could find, even a 2-stroke engine. I know the different, you know, like I pretty much know how cars work now. Like for everything from the drivetrain to the suspension to the fucking fuel system to the fucking electronics. Even to me, the most fun part because like all my friends who are into cars, we all specialize in different shit. My Sunman, he specializes in collision and bodywork. So if you get like a fender bender, he's the one to call. Yeah. My friend Wang, he's into like all the engine stuff. Like he knows how to do engine swaps. He's got an engine lift. He knows how to make Timu fucking turbochargers like really work. He's good at that. For me, I'm good at electronics. Like I'm really good at like splicing wires. Like I can look at the wiring schematic. Like if you want to hook up like a 2017 digital stereo to your fucking like 1999 Corolla, like I'll figure it out. I know how to find the interfaces to make it all work. That's my shit. I love that because like once I learned how like stripping wires and then make it do different shit. And also they sell like boxes to be able to make old systems work with new digital interface. Once I learned how to do that, I was like, this is awesome. Like I love working on the electronics of cars. But it wouldn't have happened if I didn't learn how to drive stick. So I got to teach you how to drive stick. You love it. You'll fucking love it. Like
I want to learn. Like I said, I want to learn, but it's just so impractical in New York City. That is the only thing. I would never drive it regularly here.
Put it this way: if you learn how to drive stick regularly, a manual car in New York City, you'll drive like anywhere else, and you'll be like, I'm in heaven. You know, like it's like this. It's like what they say: like if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's like that same mentality.
Yeah. I want to learn. Anyway, obviously. No,
I have to teach you. I have to teach like you. I have to teach Igor. I'm gonna teach Mike too. If he's, I think he's good enough to learn. Like if you could pull,
he drives fucking. He has a CDL,
and he could pull off a tray flip. Like if you have the bodily control to pull off a tray flip, you could fucking learn how to drive like a standard.
Mike's a good driver. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, no, I got to teach Igor how to drive. I feel like he would love it. With the money he's got, I feel like he would be like, I'm going to buy a Porsche now. You know, like a stupid Porsche, just build it up. That's the best part of driving stick is you could buy an old shitty fucking car for a really good price and you could just swap everything out yourself because like, you know everything, you know? You know where the transmission fluid is flowing, you know why it's flowing, you know where the radiator is, you know.
I would say like the thing is you don't want that to be your regular car. Like Like that's a project thing. That's a second car. Like my landlord has 2 classic cars. He's had 4 since I've lived there, and like that's how he just occupies himself, is working on those cars.
They're garage princesses, like driveway princesses. You know, like garage queens.
Yeah, but like, and there's always an issue with it. But like that's what he likes to do. That's what he does. He likes figuring it out and like fixing shit and like doing all
I
that
bet it's got a
business.
carburetor instead of an electronic fuel injection system, so he has to like use a matchbook to like space out the fucking opening like just right to get the throttle in.
He had a Chevy pickup from like the 40s. He had with that like that body that like it's when they were really low, they were really small, like
and narrow.
Yeah. Like not they don't look like trucks or pickups like now, like
wide and low. Like why would you fucking do that? Like you know, like
but like it's such a weird shape. But like he loved like that. He's working on stuff like that. Like there's my grandfather who.
If your cars are wide, first of all, for all you listening, you motherfuckers, if your car is wide, lift it. If your car is narrow, drop it. How fucking hard is that to learn? Like apparently car manufacturers, like they're just making cars wider and lower. I'm like, the fuck are you doing, dude? Who could use that? How are you gonna get up and down like driveways in Staten Island with that? You're gonna scrape your fucking bumper every time. Yeah.
I know.
It pisses me off. I'm like, why? Like if your car's low, make sure it's narrow. Like make sure it's like one of those stupid Japanese like shopping carts. Like don't fucking like, you know, lower your fucking wide ass like German BMW.
And I like how people who don't realize that they like their car rides low and is low profile, like they don't realize what they're supposed to do is turn as you like come up or like back up of like when you're on a slope. That's what you do.
Yeah, I always go at an angle.
But I like watching people who don't know that when
and they go gunk gunk.
It's just like you look at them, you're like, that car is not new. You've had that car.
To be fair though, my car is so fucking low that you could even do the angle shit and you'll like I can never hit a bump regularly. I have to like always go to the side. And
that's how I talk Igor out of getting a Corvette, because we were talking to one day. He's like, you know, a Corvette, like he's like,
what, a C7?
It was at the time it was like 43,000. He was like, it's not expensive. I can get a Corvette.
What year was this?
2017.
And he was gonna get like a 2008 model or some shit.
No, he was on my newer Corvette.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, I'm like, no, I'm like, you know how I'm like, we take the Bell Parkway every day. Were you crazy? I'm like that car is so low.
He should have done it. Was he gonna get it in manual or automatic?
Automatic.
Oh, that's gay.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe we got. I don't know. I can't remember. He was just talking about it. I was like, bro, stop. That's not smart.
Igor, the one thing I think like if I were him, I would regret never learning stick. I'm gonna teach him how to drive manual. I have to. It's like I gotta teach both of you guys because like
I'd like to learn.
Because like I could see first of all I could picture Igor in like a fucking like, you know what, I'm old, I'm middle aged, I'm gonna get an M4 manual like you know from early 2000 aughts or whatever. With you, I could be like, I'm gonna get a fucking like nice like fucking Camaro or a fucking, I don't know, like a Challenger or some shit.
Really? I don't like big.
I feel like you might be a Mustang guy, to be honest.
No, I've never driven a Mustang, but I've been in them. I've never cared for them. I like I've heard horror stories. I know how they drive, and like to me, it just doesn't sound like something I
well, I'm just upset because I don't want your experience with my Mustang to be your experience, like to add up. But it's fair enough. Like every story you've heard was bad. Your experience with me was bad. It's like if you hate Mustangs, like I couldn't fault you for that because of your experience. But there's something about it, man. It's like I want you to at least take a ride in a Cobra maybe and just like feel the pull, you know, like. Because when I had the V8 and you never got to ride in the V8, like that upsets me. Like I wish I got to take you on a spin for that.
That was a rear wheel?
Oh yeah, rear, and my wheels were staggered, so the rear wheels were wider than the front, which was a bitch. I got like new tires. It cost me like fucking $1,100.
Oh, for all 4?
Yeah, and I had to get new TPMS sensors.
Bro, when I replaced my tire, like mine are also different sizes. But they're 19 inches, and then like I don't know how wide they're really wide. I'd never like noticed before. Like, the widest tires I've ever had. Like there's this wide.
19 inches is wide for tuner cars. 20 inches and above is like muscle car shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's so 19 on my car. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
But they're super wide, and when I put the donut on and I backed up, the donut was this.
Like gung gung is like lopsided.
Yeah, and I drove to the tire place, and I'm driving like this. I'm like, Jesus Christ! I'm like, how do you like? And this donut came with the car. Like, how do you do this to somebody?
If you become a car guy, like once you learn how to drive stick, and then you actually get a car that, you know, aside from your daily,
I would never. It would have. That's the thing. It would never be my daily car.
Yeah. Besides your daily, like
because
if you became, you know what I think you would do if you became a car guy. What you would do is you would probably sell your car now. You would buy like a shitty project car that you build, and you would buy a shitty daily, like a fucking like a 5-speed manual Subaru. Because once you drive manual, a 5-speed Subaru will last you for fucking ever.
I know that's why people like Subarus. I know.
Ever. Dude, if your engine blows up, guess what? It only costs you like $2,000 to swap the engine compared to like a German. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you can't do that. You can't even do that with a Honda.
I would like, that's the thing. I would be into cars, like do stuff like that, but I would never, it wouldn't be my primary car. Like, I would never.
I'm saying, like, if you did drive stick, like, your primary car would be like, this is like having like one mediocre boyfriend instead of having like one hot husband and one hot lover. Like you'd want that if that was an option. I like that Ford Taurus though. That's what you drove, right?
No, it was a Focus. No, that was a Fusion. Sorry.
The white car?
The Fusion, yeah. The Taurus would be a step up from the Fusion.
Yeah, the Taurus was what, turbocharged?
I don't know. I think the Taurus was a full size sedan. The Focus was a small sedan. Fusion was the mid-size sedan. Taurus would have been the full size, but that would have been had like all the good shit in it. Like,
and now you're driving a fucking Hyundai.
Driving a Genesis.
It's a Hyundai.
They're separate factories now.
Yeah, it's like saying like Infiniti and Nissan are like separate.
I know they're the
factories.
same cars, but like that's actually the thing. So like in my Infiniti, if you lift the hood up, there's parts in there that say Nissan. But in the Genesis, they actually all say Genesis. What I like about this car is that it has Genesis's it has Hyundai's warranty, which is awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
Because like I loved my last car. I loved the BMW. Like perfect car, beautiful car. But it only had that 3-year warranty, and nothing went wrong in those 3 years. In fact, I changed my brake pads once in 3 years.
You're talking about your Beamer?
Yeah, I'm talking about
the red one.
No, the black one, the last one I had, the 5
You had
Series.
a black Beamer, 5 Series.
I had a 5 Series.
I didn't fucking know that.
3 years. Were you never in it?
No. Shit, I wish I got to ride that car. That sounds awesome.
I love that car.
I wish I got to fucking ride your fucking 5 Series black. What the fuck? Like, I did not know this.
That's what I had until I know from 2020.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Good for you, man.
Car. That's
good
the
for
car
you.
I drove around. I was like, I've done it.
Good for you. Good for you.
I've made it. Like driving a brand new.
Dude, I would be an asshole on the BQE in that thing. Yeah.
No, I'm not an asshole. I signal. I'm the only BMW driver that would signal.
Oh no, I would signal, but there would be no point in me signaling. I would still signal, but you're never gonna see it. You know, like.
But what I was saying, so like with that car, it only had a 3-year warranty. And in those 3 years, like I had no problems with it. I changed one tire and I changed my brake pads.
Welcome
once,
to BMW life, bro.
But no, I don't have one anymore.
No, I'm saying like that was your introduction to BMW life.
Oh yeah, just everything was perfect. The way it drove was perfect. The electronics, the everything. The way
the heater, the seat heating,
everything.
Yeah.
Like I had, so I took actually for a year. I didn't realize because there's a little dial you could use
that to adjust the heating for the.
No. There's one in the middle that you could use to like look through the menu and stuff like that. I could
as a
apps.
cursor.
Yeah. I didn't realize I could write on the top of it.
Oh, as a touch thing, like
yeah.
To write text, yeah.
So I could write text
like fuck you while you're driving.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
I didn't know that for a year that I could do that, and I could write the song I wanted. It to play from Spotify, but
write notes, a number,
but
license plate number.
But so 3 years is that warranty. I had it for 3 years. Nothing went wrong with it, but once things go wrong with that car, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah, like that. Once that forbidden light comes on, you might as well just put black duct tape over it. Like, there's no point, you know.
Yeah. But that's what I like about this Genesis is that like it has a 10-year or 100,000 mile warranty, so like it I don't have to worry.
I think if you knew how to drive stick and you knew how to like do rudimentary service on cars, you would never drive one of those fucking cars ever again. You would you would go straight towards like a cheap fucking like manual Corolla, and you would build everything. You would add your own seats, you would do your own shit, because you know that if it fails, you don't have to go to a fucking BMW dealership and pay like $10,000 to change a sensor. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I get those. I've leased cars.
Now this is why I like having say a Subaru or a Toyota or a fucking Mustang, you know, because anything that goes wrong, I know exactly what's going wrong. Like a solid axle, like anything with the drivetrain, I know exactly what's happening. Like anything wrong with heating or like the temperature fluctuating, it's the radiator and the coolant.
Yeah.
Like anything wrong with the fucking revving, it's probably something, I don't know, like with the differential, you know, like if I'm having fucked up problems, well, nothing really goes wrong with the differential, but you know what I mean? You know, like I could pretty much trace the problems because I know how cars work.
But that's why I've leased because I just don't want that stress. And like in the terms of the lease, like even if I take it to the dealership and something's wrong, I don't have to pay.
But it's less stress when you know what's wrong. You know, it's like when I know, it's like I'm like, oh fuck, my like bearings fucked up or like my alignment's off.
But also keep in mind too, like I was driving a lot. I was driving to Long Island.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Yeah, so like I was just like the car's gonna get beat up. I don't want this car like forever because it's getting hurt. It's just getting beat up. That's a rough way to drive it, and I didn't want to have to pay out of pocket. That's why I just leased. And with this car, I'm financing because it has that longer warranty.
I bet, yo, give it like 5 more years, it's going to be a huge aftermarket for like Hyundais.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you still
Hyundai's
have
becoming hot because like, dude, right now, like.
Genesis are like, they're really.
Dude, you ever, the car that I was looking at that I always look at every day when I'm driving down Sand Lane, there's this guy with like a 2-door red Hyundai Coupe. I'm pretty sure it's like a inline 6-cylinder engine. I'm like, that shit would probably smoke my fucking car. Like imagine like a 2-door Genesis rear-wheel drive coupe, like Hyundai, you know?
They actually, so there's a line that they
I'm gonna look this shit up.
There's a Genesis line called Magma, and like it's like it's their sporty, super sporty, super like loaded like car.
Yeah, this shit is fucking sick. Whatever this fucking thing is, I love.
I know
this.
that car. I've seen that car.
Yeah, apparently they sell these in like 6-cylinder turbocharged and.
Yeah, I've seen that car. I know that car.
I wonder if they come in like, you know, manual. Like that would be. I think it's rear wheel drive. I hope so. Yeah. Wait, it comes in a 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder engine options. While the Genesis Coupe was rear wheel drive and offered more powerful engine options. Yeah, Genesis Coupe. All right, so it's the Genesis Coupe. Yeah, this thing is fucking sick. If I had to get rid of my car and get if I had to get a Hyundai, I would fucking get this shit. And it's like I just don't trust the Koreans yet, but I feel like they're
no,
going.
See, I used to not to. Now I do because
you
know what? You know what?
Look at this fucking
Like,
thing, dude. That thing's sick, man. That's a rear wheel drive 6-cylinder engine.
Do you remember what Hyundai like used to do? Their whole thing was they used to rip off Lexus. Every
And
generation,
Toyota.
Yeah,
well, Lexus is Toyota. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Every generation of Hyundai was ripping off the previous generation of Lexus.
They also ripped off Honda.
Acura, right? Yeah. No, I feel like I feel like they ripped off Toyota and Lexus more.
Yeah. The only thing is, like, in my generation, my lifetime, I'm probably never going to prefer Korean tuner market over Japanese, because Japanese tuner market just has too much history. They got, you know, I'm influenced by too much media already, indoctrinated with like Japanese tuner culture. It's either going to be Japanese or American for me. I'm either going to want like an American muscle car with like some fucked up parts on it, or I'm going to want like a Japanese tuner car. I don't want a Korean fucking base model. You know? All right. So with that, we're on to our next segment, which for the third segment, I usually talk about like movies and art and creativity and shit. Whether we create it or we consume it, like we talk about it. And one of the things that has been on my mind was this stupid fucking Kill Bill release. This double feature, and I'm like, dude, I saw both movies already. I thought you were releasing a new movie, but apparently they're just releasing both movies back to back as one feature.
Did they?
Yeah.
Recently?
Yeah, it's called Kill Bill. Fuck, let me look it up.
It's probably the studio though, right?
I mean, you know what it is. It's like one of those old school double feature type deals because Quentin Tarantino is like a slut for that shit, and. Oh yeah, it's called The Whole Bloody Affair. So it's like you go watch this in theaters and you'll just see Kill Bill.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, it's different. I mean, that's what like movie theaters used to do that. Like movie theaters would have double features. Like it's 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, but that's a classy way to do it. Now, movie theaters started dying the minute like you saw like Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring playing in like mad like screens, and you're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? That's like cannibalizing your revenue, you know?
Yeah, that's how they made money.
No, that was a bad move, I think. Like to do that. Like you shouldn't have done that.
I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause the light was on for so long. But yeah, I think that was a bad move on the part of movie theaters. You shouldn't have like had like mad showings of the same movie in different fucking theaters, you know?
I mean, it worked for them.
Did it? I mean, look at them now. Like, who's fucking going to movie theaters anymore?
Yeah, that's not because of them. That's because of streaming services and stuff like that, and COVID.
No, it was because of them.
The
Because
whole Hollywood model changed.
well, those movies changed it. Like Lord of the Rings and the first Harry Potter movies, they literally flipped the whole thing. Once like the way they were theatrically released affected the whole movie business of how all movies were made. They were all like because of that. Like we have things like the MCU, for example.
I don't follow.
All right. So when they realized they could sensationalize one single movie release so big to the point where it's like it doesn't matter what theater you watch it in as long as you're watching it. That's why like big theaters, like small boutique theaters were different. You know, they were still doing their thing at the time of like early 2000s.
Well, they were, but I mean, like, I think you're confused. Like smaller boutique theaters were showing like smaller niche types of movies. They were like it was for a certain community. Like it wasn't like that's
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
Hollywood's entire model was.
Yeah, but big theaters were able to say like, oh, we have theaters with like many screens, so we're just gonna allocate
The
4 or 5
multiplex.
screens. Yeah, the multiplex. We're just gonna make 4 or 5 screens show the same movie because everyone wants to fucking see this movie. And
Who did that hurt though? I don't understand.
it didn't hurt anyone. I'm just saying it hurt the quality of movies in general because that changed the way movies were made. It changed the focus of making like one singular movies, and suddenly it made things like multiplex spectacles. It wasn't a cineplex spectacle. It turned into a multiplex spectacle where it's like we want our movie so big where it takes over whole multiplexes instead of like many different movies being shown in a single theater.
I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, but I just don't at the same time. Like, I don't.
All right, and also like
So two different things.
because really what we're talking about is how one single business, which is movie theaters, affected movie making and the quality of movies. Now, if we were to dissect the actual business of a movie theater, what is a movie theater? Like, it's basically a shitty restaurant that shows big movies, right?
Well, now it is.
It wasn't always that.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah,
always
yeah.
that. It was movie theaters back in the day. Like they had one screen, but they would show like the movie they would show is like whenever a big movie would come out, that's the movie they would show. Is they would buy the rights to show that movie, and that's how they would make money.
And they charge tickets to see the fucking movie.
Yeah. So like a multiplex, like showing the same movie in 5 different theaters 5 times a day, like doesn't matter. They're still making money per ticket sale, and it doesn't. You benefit from.
But they could still show other movies and still play that fucking.
But for a multiplex, what's like? Were you making more money like doing having 5 showings a day for that summer blockbuster, or having one showing and then having doing a kung fu movie, and then a blaxploitation movie, and then doing a really weird like independent film?
So that means less people would give a fuck about blaxploitation films and independent films, and they would care more about the fucking blockbuster
Well,
movies.
but things have just changed so much. Like that's what like your neighborhood movie theater would do. You would do the blockbuster would end, and you had to keep running. You only had one screen or 2 screens. You had to keep running, so you'd have themes like Tarantino grew up in in a poor like California, like LA adjacent like neighborhood. He grew up watching blaxploitation movies because that's just what would play in your neighborhood. In his neighborhood.
But to be able to play those movies, you have to be able to afford to sacrifice the like if I had like 6 theaters, I have to have enough money to sacrifice like playing Harry Potter in those 5 theaters, you know, and whatever I wanted in the last theater. You know, like I have to be flush enough. And I just think at some point like they cared more about the revenue because they just.
Well, that's why they're all dying, is because what happened was there'd be several, how many movies come out a year, and like how many of them have like you run them or whatever, like so you always had fresh movies to run.
Well, another big factor was like, you know, those old school movie theaters, they weren't as high maintenance as like say like
Because it was one theater.
yeah.
It
It wasn't
literally one- yeah.
like you had to follow food like standards and fucking like maintain a kitchen and maintain
you
fucking.
need all these employees.
Yeah.
Like running snacks, running.
It became an institution,
yeah.
pretty much like a hospital.
Yeah, and that's what's changing with movie theaters is is that all the like United Artists and like Regal, I think, are owned by like these big Chinese companies. Actually, they were buying them up the previous decade, and then after COVID, movies have changed. Those big ones are all dying, and now you have things like Alamo Drafthouse coming up, or like in Brooklyn, like on a place called it's called Nighthawk.
Yeah.
It's very much like an Alamo Drafthouse, except worse, because there's one on Prospect. It's they bought up an old movie theater building, and like they have like several theaters in there. There's a bar, they have food, but their seats are uncomfortable, their screens are small, and they're fucking expensive. But there's Alamo Drafthouse, which is I think pretty cool because
cheaper.
It's cheaper.
You get better quality service with food and drinks.
You can have they run a membership thing, and like also like they like
you get coupons.
But they do is there tobacco in here?
Yes.
They when the big blockbuster is done, their other theaters are running like
we'll play some kung fu movies for you guys.
And like that's what theaters used to do, and like they're still trying to sell that theater experience, and like for a lot of movies that theater experience works and like should still be around. Like there's movies that like most movies I don't think like need to be seen in a movie theater, but some movies I think truly benefit from it.
Sure.
Like I just watched Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein at home on Netflix, which is cool. But if I'd seen it in a theater, that's something I would have paid to see in a theater, which I could have.
I guess somewhere along the line, I just became very like jaded by movies because I'm like, I mean, well, it's also like conspiracy theories ruined it for me because once I, like. It literally takes more energy to convince yourself that the moon landing was real, the original moon landing footage was real, than to just like assume that like Stanley Kubrick just like had a hand in like fucking like fabricating some fake footage. Like you just don't want to. You'd rather just not engage with it. It's its own form of fatigue, and like knowing that exists, I'm like, what makes like every movie is just an effort to brainwash people, especially like in American cinema. I mean. I still appreciate it. I still like certain themes, but like at some point it's even MCU, even Marvel Comics became like really spoiled for me because I'm like, we were just talking about how Ubisoft and Tom Clancy is propaganda. Marvel is definitely even older, more primordial American propaganda, I mean, I still love it. Culturally, it influences me a lot, especially as a person, my own person. I'll still like refer to Captain America's values when it comes to some decisions in life. I'll be like, what would Steve Rogers do? And I would do that thing, and it usually turns out all right. That's powerful. That's a very powerful facet of like culture to like inject in a human being's upbringing. And you add movies to that, it's even more hardcore.
Yeah, movies are cinema, film are very ingrained in our culture.
I look for symbolism in movies, like movies that seem to symbolically lean towards, say, like, I don't know, forsaking God, or like, yeah, it's okay to take advantage of people, like shit like that. Like some movies, there's like where you could tell like the good guy wins, but it's still promoting like kind of like a shitty message. You're like, oh, this still is like, I mean, it's entertaining as fuck, but it's still sinful as shit,
I have taste in my taste in movies. Like I have varying taste. Like I like.
Yeah, you put me onto some great movies.
I had so many more.
Yeah,
because I started like, not that like there's nothing wrong with. I
just want to preface this by saying I enjoy evil movies. Like I've watched movies where the message, I'm like, this message is fucking terrible, but I was entertained as fuck by it. This is a good fucking picture. But I would say like if I was a stupider person, I would be like I would watch this and I'll be influenced to do some bad fucking shit.
Yeah, like I feel like there's movies that like non Hollywood movies expand on themes that you normally don't see in in Hollywood movies.
Like Wolf of Wall Street, for example,
yeah,
or Boiler Room.
I love Boiler Room. That's not a Hollywood.
Great
It's not,
fucking
it's not a Hollywood movie.
It kind of is.
No, it's an independent movie. It's not a Hollywood movie. There wasn't a big wide release movie.
That was a
That's
work.
why I like Boiler
That movie
Room.
was a fucking work of art. Then
Oh, I love Boiler Room. Yeah,
it was a work of
it's
art.
so real.
It's raw.
So yeah, I love it.
Because I've worked in call centers, I've worked in sales. Like I watch Boiler Room, and I'm like, if I worked in that environment, I probably would have like put a bullet in my head. You know, I would have been like, I can't live like this. Like,
no, yeah, and it does such a good job of showing you that. And,
like Wolf of Wall Street was bad because it literally made you think like, oh, I work in this environment and 90% of the time I feel good and 10% of the time I feel bad. No, it's the opposite. It's 90% of the time in working in a sales environment, you feel like shit. And only in the 10% you get the ultimate euphoria, like orgasm. You're like, yeah, I made my month, you know, like
that's what I didn't like. That's why I like a movie like Boiler Room or Glengarry Glen Ross like more than I like,
because that's
Wolf of
real.
Wall
You know, it's
Street.
like you think you guys want to celebrate.
Because
You
it
guys wanna-
shows you the whole process, whereas Wolf of Wall Street, like it's good, I enjoy it.
It shows
but,
you
like,
after you win only. It's all wins, wins,
Yeah,
wins.
you're
wins,
showing
wins,
the
yeah.
wins, and then at the end you show the downfall, but you don't show like the toll it takes. You don't show the ups and downs. You don't show anything else like, in the meantime.
You don't
like,
show
every time.
You don't show the cheating wives, the ankle monitors. You don't show the drug problems. You don't show
no,
the
like
fucking.
every time DiCaprio as Belfort like starts to explain what they're doing, and then stops, and someone goes, "But you don't care about that." I'm like,
yeah.
"No, I do. Tell me."
Yeah.
Yo, you see that HBO documentary? I haven't watched the whole thing because I forgot about it, but it's about cold calling.
Dude, cold calling is so antiquated.
Telemarketers. You watch the show?
But who needs them anymore? Now you can get some fucking robot to just like literally call like
the same.
10,000 people.
Nah, it's not the same. That's it. Like it's if robots could sell, they can't.
But the problem is, you're right. The robots will never be quality-wise as good as the human cold caller. However,
At least right now, for the time being, most of us can can feel when something isn't right, something isn't human. Like we don't have that connection. For right now, people will still.
but in
still
two
pick up-
generations, it's gonna be all fucking
Yeah. Because at one point, people will lose that.
Dude, like, you know, you'll get those text messages where, like, if I click that link, my whole life would have been fucked up. But, like, you know not to click that link. Meanwhile,
But
like, our people,
to me,
you
it's
know,
more
like,
like, you know, when you read an email like that, or you read a text message, and like you like just from the way
you
it's
recognize the
written,
pattern.
just the way it's written, you're like, that's not a person. Like nobody.
It's pattern recognition. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, that's not a person. That's not human. People don't talk that way, or like.
Did you know that that's what IQ really is just pattern recognition? Like, when you look at any IQ test, like, all the tests they run you through, it's all just about recognizing patterns. Like, how good are you at recognizing patterns? Like, if I give you A, B, how good are you at recognizing C? That's all it is. Like, whether it's mathematics, science, literacy, fucking biology, it's all pattern recognition at the end of the day. So if you're good at pattern recognition, you're good at everything. Now, here's the thing. Here's where it gets creepy. What the fuck is a pattern? What is a pattern made of? Are patterns alive? Are they intelligent? Patterns clearly transcend us. They're more powerful than us because we live according to patterns. Like you might take comfort in the fact that I'm an individual, but we still eat, shit, and sleep, and we still die at the end of the day. So we all have to abide by patterns of seasons, day and night cycles, eating cycles, sleeping cycles, like mating cycles.
But it's like that's part of society.
It's part of reality. It's everything. Even if you go into the cosmos, patterns still apply. You know.
But I'm saying like the patterns we recognize are like it's part of our acceptance and willingness to exist as one society.
Well, patterns are patterns. I mean, patterns aren't bound by culture or religion or doctrine. Any kind of doctrine. Patterns are what they are. It's a Platonic concept, right? Like a proto-Platonic concept. You know, it's literally just patterns are what they are. It's just things that happen to repeat in nature in a cyclical fashion. We don't know what they are. We just know that we abide by them. And few of us of greater technical intelligence can like follow a path, whether it's music, martial arts, like engineering, science, biology. You follow long enough and you come to the same conclusion. It's like there is one pattern that dictates all the other patterns, and every other pattern is just a sub-pattern of that one. There is eventually a coalescing thing. This is how mathematicians say God is real. Like an atheist mathematician goes through his craft long enough where he comes to the conclusion, it's like, holy shit, like this is too uncanny. This is mathematically impossible for things to be so parallel and so aligned. God is real. Meanwhile, you have like an idiot, like a hillbilly, you know, like who's fucking his guy. He's like, yeah, God is real, you know? Like, it's funny how like 85 IQ and 160 IQ both say like, yeah, God is real, you know? Like, isn't that interesting? Like, this is why I think like, you know, angels and demons, spirits are just patterns. Like they're sentient patterns. Like if you get possessed by a demon, you got possessed by a negative pattern. Your negative pattern could be, say, like, I don't know, like doing too much fucking crack, doing too much heroin, fucking children, killing people. Whatever pattern, negative pattern you're fucking overcome with, that's your demon, quote unquote. It's just patterns. So to me, it's like in the ancient terminology, we look at like spirits and demons. In modern terminology, we look at patterns, you know? We just don't know what the fuck patterns are. We don't define that. We just say like, oh, do you see the pattern here? Are you following the pattern? But very, you know, like rarely are we like, what the fuck is a pattern anyway? But then the people who figure that out are the people like Spielberg, are the people like Mozart, like Bill Gates, like the people who realized, like Miyamoto Musashi, the people who all realized like, shit, you know, there's a unifying formula to everything that you want to ever get mastery in, you know, whether it's people, psychology, mathematics, science, it's patterns. If you master patterns as a universal concept, you will be a genius.
That's not where I expected to go to when you said we talk about movies and stuff.
No, I mean, this applies to art easily. Like, if you want to learn how to play music, what do you think music is? It's all pattern. Did you know that?
Well, there's film and there's music that purposefully like break down patterns, just do it like in a way that's like just the opposite or disruptive of like what the pattern is, the normal thing is. Like I forget what it is, but like there was that father who had like these kids. He never let them listen to like any music, and just had them record like an album, like this whole family that has never heard music and tries to make music, and it's just so like it's there's no pattern there. It's weird.
It's primordial. But here's the thing: it's not that their music was bad or good. The fact is, our brains, our psyche, our consciousness is just wired to react to patterns and to function in patterns. So if I wanted to, here's how it gets dark. Let's say I want to manipulate you, right? I wouldn't do it from making you feel one emotion at one specific moment. The best way to manipulate a person is to control the series of different emotions they feel throughout every day.
Yeah.
So I can't control you in a single day, but give me like 30 days. Yes. Yeah. You know, like I could make you feel like if I had to see you every day at work, I could make you feel angry in the morning, sad in the afternoon, and then happy by the time we get off shift. And if I could make you feel that way every single fucking work day, I know your emotional pattern. If I know your emotional pattern, it's a lot easier to slip your psychic defenses. Because like, you know, you may be resistant to certain information or probing when you're sad, but you'll be a lot more open to that specific type of probing when you're happy. Same with vice versa. Like you may be closed off a certain type of probing when you're happy, but when you're sad, you're more open to be like give this type of information. Mm-hmm. This is how the CIA like does their. It's all scientific. It's all I shouldn't say scientific. I should say systemic. It's all about engineering. Engineering is not science. You know. This is why I like talk about art a lot, because like I can't tell if art is more science or engineering. It's kind of a bit of both, but it's also like something like emotional, you know, personal.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, all right. So when it comes to movies, I don't know. I've been on a Tom Clancy kick lately. I like Tom Clancy. I mean, I don't like Tom Clancy. I like watching his shit because to me, it's like observing, like, you know, cultural propaganda. You know, like I get to see it through an objective lens, and I'm like, this is fucking effective. Anime is interesting because when I look at like Japanese media, they always seem to incorporate like esoteric occult themes, but they do it in such an unserious way where if I saw it as a little kid, I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. But then like after getting into like hermeticism and all that shit, you look back and you're like, they were blatantly pointing at this shit. Like, you know, like.
And a lot of it is, from like their culture's perspective. Like, so I feel like it goes over the heads of American viewers who are like consuming a lot of anime now.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Japanese also like mess with a lot of Western concepts. Like if you've ever seen Full Metal Alchemist.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying like those deep themes that like people don't seem to like catch up on, or aren't like so obvious. Like it's part of like it's them sneaking their culture, not sneaking their culture, but like taking things from their culture.
Projecting.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna like this though. Like, there's this. You ever heard of the idea of the? You know about the hero's journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
The phases of the hero's journey, the story circle. We talked about this before. Do you know who made that up? It was Dan Harmon. Dan Harmon created the story circle. Do you know what Dan Harmon is? You know Dan Harmon.
Yeah, I know Dan Harmon.
Yeah, so Dan Harmon created the story circle, which was like this concept of like every story follows the same circle, which is you get your protagonist and he goes through like he gets a call to action, and he could either follow through with that call to action or not, and the circle just repeats. But if he does follow through, then he goes through a phase of death and rebirth, lessons learned, gets the gift, then goes back, and then it repeats. He did.
He did not.
No. He didn't. All right, so he created that variation of it, but the truth is there was a guy before him that created the entire concept.
He just applies it to the things he writes, and things he writes are different. Like
no, there's a different framework that predates that, which is, of course, like the acts and the scenes. Like there's like say 3 acts typically in a performance, and then within those acts there are scenes, which denote what the purpose of the act was. So that's older than Dan Harmon, clearly, but that's clearly the same variation of the idea of the monomyth. The monomyth is the philosophy that every story follows a pattern, and this pattern generally has the same shape. And every time you try to create a story that deviates too far from this pattern, it becomes like an incoherent story. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't become an incoherent story or not work. Like it's just that is the easiest way to tell a hero's journey, and like that's your protagonist, and like a protagonist is like people always like that's. People
but I'm saying like, what is a story without a protagonist? Like.
Different stories, but like
every story has a protagonist. Like that's what this is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like every story has a protagonist, though. Like
every those are like Hollywood films. Those are things that are easier to sell.
Every story has a subject. Yes,
when you have an obvious protagonist that's not so complicated, and like you have that whole journey, that up, that down, that realization, that whatever like that happens.
I mean, let me ask you, like, what movie really challenged that for you?
What movie really challenged the idea of a protagonist to me?
Yeah, like let's say just that. Let's focus in on the concept of a protagonist. Like what really challenged what a protagonist is supposed to be and what they represent in like the production of a film.
It's harder to do with so.
I'll tell you my answer. I got an answer.
Hold on. No, it's not exact. So like, I could tell you. So like, the spaghetti westerns from like the '60s with Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
Fistful of Dollars, a few dollars.
Good, Bad, and Ugly.
Good, Bad, and the Ugly. There is like, he is like Clint Eastwood is the protagonist in all 3. And in the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, there's 3 main characters, and he is the good, but he is not a protagonist. He is not a good person.
No.
Necessarily, no.
He's not someone you want to necessarily aspire to be.
Right. He's whose story you're following.
But you still want to see their fate. Like you still want to see their journey.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's so there's that. That is.
There's 3 of them.
In the Good, Bad, and the Ugly, yeah.
That's kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5 as a side note.
There's the good, the bad, and
yeah,
the ugly.
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie, honestly, by the way, of all time.
That's literally like Grand Theft Auto 5, like when you explain it that way.
Yeah, it takes from that, yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said, this is what I mean, patterns. If you recognize the pattern, you're like, duh, like this obviously works. So if you're a creator, you're like, you could use these patterns. You don't just have to be like, oh, I created something by accident and it happens to follow this pattern. No, you could be like, I've read the Bible. Like I could just like literally take the story, swap the names, swap the settings, swap the time period, swap the.
Well, that's what people have done.
Yeah, and it works every single fucking time. Yeah.
That's like, why do you think the Bible still exists?
Music works that way. Yeah. All art works that way.
Yeah. It's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. But I want to say, what was I going to say? Something about I went too far in my cognition. Let's see. So we before that, we were talking about what were you talking about? The hero's journey. Oh yeah, my example. So there's one example of a movie that I know that really challenged the idea of what a protagonist is and the idea of a protagonist itself. It was a movie called A Tire, I think. It was just Tire. It was literally about a tire. like a rubber tire, and this tire had psychic powers. It was able to blow up heads. It didn't have really a necessary agenda, but it was just a tire rolling along with a will of its own. I gotta see this. And the only reason why I knew about it was because it was on Showtime, and the only reason why I watched Showtime late at night was because it was called Rubber. The movie was called Rubber. You ever heard of Rubber?
No.
All right. So yeah, this was an interesting movie. 2010. It was literally just about all right, let me read the synopsis. Okay. Wikipedia is begging for money again, by the way, guys. If you have some dollars to spare, give it to Wikipedia. Okay, so Rubber is a 2010 English language, French independent, absurdist humor comedy film written and directed by Quentin Dupieux.
Dupieux?
The film is about a tire that comes to life and uses psychokinetic powers to kill people. The film was produced by Realism Films and had its world premiere at the Critics Week of the 2010 Cannes Film Festival. Cannes. All right, I'm sorry.
I've been to Cannes.
Where really? Was it nice?
Yeah.
All right, where it received positive reviews. All right, so apparently it was a decent movie, supposedly. But yeah, it was a movie about a tire that just goes around blowing up people's heads. And I thought that was... I never seen it. To this day, I still can't think of anything like that. Like, you know, that's
interesting. Like, yeah, I mean, like, there's... I just can't think of it off the top of my head exactly. Like, there's movies I can think of, like, very flawed protagonists. Can't think of a completely inanimate protagonist. Like,
but this was just a tire, no lines, no dialogue, just came and people were talking at it, and it just shook and blew up its head and went along.
Yeah, but I don't think that makes it a bad protagonist. It's still, I feel like it still would follow a hero. I'm sure. Does it follow a hero's journey?
I forgot its agenda. I forgot what its journey was about. I forgot what it was trying to do. But
because I feel like a tire would be like easier to like. It's not a. I don't think it's a flawed protagonist. I would imagine it is
a perfect protagonist.
Yes,
too perfect.
Exactly.
It's like a Mary Sue.
Yeah,
to the
like
extreme. It's like
that's what I mean. Like that to
like,
me, like if it has no lines, it's a tire. Like that would you'd follow it. You'd be like, well, yeah, it's a tire. It's just do what it's doing. Yeah.
Like you're an asshole for fucking with it.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah.
From the
It's
jump.
not complicated. It's not like it didn't come from a rough place. It didn't make mistakes before. It's a fucking tire. It's just.
Why would you get in its way in the first place? You deserve to die for getting in the way of the
tire.
And
it's whoever set it off that's it. That's why the tire is on the journey it's on now.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why it was a good movie for me to like challenge the like.
No, it's fun.
It was one of them. Yeah. Another. I'm trying to think of the weirdest movies I saw recently. One was Radiation City or Radioactive City or something. There was apparently a time in the 80s when they were making like good like schlock like post apocalyptic films, you know? Like
there was a lot of that. Yeah. Like that's when like there was B movie companies and like you could pitch them like your crazy idea and like they would put enough into like practical effects that like you kind of like make a little world.
To be honest, though, you know who the most successful, in that chaotic world of early filmmaking, especially in America and distribution, because let's not lie, like filmmaking was one thing in American film, but distribution was also married to it, but also separate. Like both really made Hollywood what it was. So when you think of that, like the people who really came out of that chaos the most successful were people who came out of making porn. Like they started with making like porn and then they made more serious shit. Like those are the people who are able to.
No.
Yeah.
Who?
Like Jews.
Well, I mean, like like directors. Like the directors create. What are you talking about? Like production companies?
Yeah, like producers.
What producers? No, like producers don't. You ever watch The Offer? That show on Paramount about the making of The Godfather? It's a couple years old now. It's like it came out in 2022, whatever. So it's about the making of the Godfather movie, and it follows the producer of it. I never really understood what a producer did before until I watched that show. And like, yeah, that show dramatizes some stuff, but I realized the producer is the one that goes out and makes sure everything gets made. So like a producer wouldn't like
Yeah, like we happen to need for this scene like 300 fucking like clothespin clips. Like, I'm sorry, we just need it, and the producer has to be like, all
Has to go and
right,
find out where he can.
I'll get 300 fucking clips.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be like like porn wouldn't. There's no. People have rarely made the jump from porn.
I'm thinking more. All right, maybe not producing end, maybe more of the directing end. I think porn directors really were more successful.
Name a director that director that did porn.
Well, maybe
I can tell you the other way around.
Maybe they started directing porn, made some money, and they started producing like serious movies.
Maybe a couple. I don't know. I can't think of I don't know who that would be. Like I could tell you, what's his name? Ed Wood made a bunch of B movies in the 50s. He made what was at the time one of the worst movies ever made, Plan 9 from Outer Space.
All right, let me ask you this. Like, let's say you're an aspiring actor or an actress, you go to Hollywood, you do the wrong thing, or you just are not quite good enough at the big times, and then what do? You move to the Valley, and then you still, all you know is performing. That's what you spent your 20s like trying to hone. So what's left? You porn, especially if you're attractive,
But then that's it. Like I could
But this is why it's such a powerful industry, because they're never going to run out of talent.
Yeah, but there's no jumping from porn to the big time. It doesn't work that way.
But the money doesn't care. So
okay,
meaning
yeah,
you
but
can make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there is no jumping from that to that.
I'm not talking about the actors or the talent. I'm talking
No.
about the people who are making it happen, so they could literally make enough money to start producing like real movies.
Maybe. I don't know. Can't think of anybody.
I just know now it's never going to happen like that because of the internet. Like now we have.
Oh, the internet's destroyed the porn industry.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, it's no longer, there's no such thing as like the casting couch at the Valley, in like California. No, it's done. Now it's all outsourced to like Eastern European women or some shit, like in Romania or like the Balkans or something, There's no real like fucking, yeah.
No, I can't imagine there's any more art to it in the sense that like they're making movies it's not, because at one point porn hit a point to where it was just like they were making oh they were almost B movies, but it was porn.
Yeah.
They were putting budgets into like more than just fucking the porn stars. Like,
remember Girls Gone Wild?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm getting at. Like, but that was just like because how else are you going to see tits?
You remember The Man Show?
Yes.
Yeah. What's his name? Came out of The Man Show?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel and what's his name? Adam Carolla. I was too young when that show was on. I think I caught some episodes like
before South Park or something. I was trying to watch South Park. Yeah,
that's when I caught some episodes. I was too young when that show was on.
If I watched that show now, I would have been like, "This is actually pretty funny. Like, this is actually quality television."
Maybe, I don't know. I just don't remember. Some of it I just feel like it's probably just comes off too childish.
The Man Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, too childish. I mean, is it any more childish than fucking, I don't know, like queer transgender Predator and like their. You didn't hear about that? So they're making a new Predator movie, and apparently like one of the there's some like LGBT agenda with the new Predator movie. I don't know if I buy it. I didn't even bother to read the article, but it's just weird how they're like kind of imposing that dialectic onto a series like Predator, which would be funny. Just to imagine like Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch is like, I am transgender now.
You got to kill me. I am transgender.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. People also just blow things out of proportion. I don't know.
I mean, as like people who make media, I'm always gonna if I were to be in their shoes, I'm always gonna want to make money. So I'm always gonna want to appeal.
So you want to appeal to a certain demographic. The thing is, I feel what really upsets people too is that like the demographic, the only demographic anymore isn't just men. There's different demographics people want to appeal to. Like, not everything needs to be made for me. It doesn't, and I'm fine with it. Like,
apparently, like the most largest sources of ethnic revenue, like ethnically categorized revenue for the MCU, for example, is like the Latinos. Like Mexican American families, they just take their kids to see the movie, every single movie. They're like,
that's. I mean, like think about it. That's who comics are very like cheap form of entertainment, but like it starts in urban areas, and who's growing up in New York City now. That's why you have Miles Morales.
Yeah,
it's
and
not,
there's still a family-oriented, religious, like ethnic fucking group of people.
Yeah,
that's still
it's just it's not like Superman was Jewish.
Miles Morales is fucking Dominican or whatever.
Isn't it? And Miles is the most Brooklyn thing you've heard of. Like you're like, yeah, I see that, and it's not forced down your throat. You're like, yeah, like that's who grows up in Brooklyn. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, Miles Morales.
Yeah, like Peter Parker in
Queens,
in Forest Hills. Like I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Not anymore.
Isn't Peter Parker Jewish?
No.
I like Peter Parker though.
Everyone's Peter Parker.
I know, because I like the idea of a white fucking, liberal Queens family.
I was going to say, well, that's us, but I was like, wait a second.
No, just a white liberal.
Wait a second.
No, because I identify with it, and
yeah.
And no matter how like
and Dominicans identify with it, but like I can identify with Miles Morales. Like there's a lot of stuff I get. Like it's okay. Like not everyone has to. Like not so much for you, but like for me, like everyone has always like they've always made sure like characters and stuff like they look like me. And I can only imagine that's it's really difficult for kids to identify with someone that doesn't look like them, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. So like,
it would get to a point though where it's like if the next Spider-Man, if they made a new Spider-Man and he was like this Chinese kid from Canal Street, that's when I would pump the brakes and I would be like, come on guys, like can you just make a new character?
That's so believable. But it's already been done. I mean, like it'd be a different universe Spider-Man. Like it's.
Well, you already have like Iron Fist. Like just let that fucking.
Iron Fist was white, wasn't he?
Yeah, but still, he still represents like the Chinese people. He's the best. He's the best candidate. He's a rich white boy from New York City, and then he spends time in Kunlun, learns his mystical kung fu, then comes back to New York City and make trouble for Daredevil, who's this blind, disabled guy. He represents the disabled people.
Catholic.
And Catholics, yeah. He fears God. Well, he's the devil.
But see, but also did it make sense because he grew up in Hell's Kitchen. That would have been Irish Catholic back in the day. Like,
yeah,
it works.
It's like if there's one thing that the gangsters fear, it's the devil, and I am Daredevil.
And that's one of my favorite like things with Daredevil is his connection to Catholicism. Like, because I find it interesting because like I get that it works.
Yeah. For me, it's like my favorite street level hero is always going to be Spider-Man. Spider-Man is
100%. Yeah, Spider-Man's for everybody.
I don't think I've really hated a Spider-Man except, I don't know, like even Tobey Maguire, like despite his fucked up shit, I'm like, I like him as Spider-Man. I even like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
I never saw the first one of his movies. I saw the second one, and I didn't like that.
I didn't like that
at all. So
all right, fine. He was my least favorite, but he wasn't he at least gave a shit. And I also like Tom Holland, I think
I like Tom Holland. Tom Holland's very Spider-Man-ish to me, like
new age Spider-Man, like a Gen Z Spider-Man, like a proper Gen Z Spider-Man.
I wouldn't even say he's like a Gen Z Spider-Man, like it just like.
Well, he did get blipped out, like for like 15 years technically, so.
Stark, I don't.
Or
feel
5 years, I don't know.
Feels so good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I consider him kind of Gen Z. He's like a Gen Z Spider-Man. He's a good one though. But the sad part is like his best characteristic in that cinematic universe was his relationship with Tony Stark. Like that was just the best.
Well, they made Spider-Man like he was actually played by somebody that was youngish, and they made like he felt like a high school kid. Like so, I got that like.
But with Robert Downey Jr. was like the best parts, honestly. Like like when he was like, "Hey Aunt May, like." What are you wearing? Hope something skimpy. And he just started laughing. I was like, they really put that in that movie. Like, that's not okay. Like, that's but he said right after, he's like, I'm sorry, Peter. That was inappropriate. Like, let's do that over. Like, I heard that.
I love that shit. But that's, that's like for us, like
your unusually attractive aunt. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, but that was so good.
I would like, when I was watching, I'm like, I can't believe they made Aunt May hot. Like, it's so crazy. Like, not even they made Aunt May hot, they made Marissa Tomei Aunt May.
And they also killed her. That was pretty ballsy.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got me with that.
Yeah. But that was really funny. Like just Robert Downey Jr. all day be like, yeah, you're unusually hot aunt that I want to bang.
Well, it was. Happy too. Was fucking like That's it too. Like it wasn't just like she wasn't just hot. No one said anything about it. At least like people were like, "Yo, your aunt's mad hot."
Yeah, like what the fuck, Peter? Like this is weird. You're unusually attractive aunt. Okay. Yeah, no, it was really funny, but just the interplay between like the characters was really good. Like
Yeah.
like he's like, no, I'm not hugging you. I'm just opening the door for you. Like we're not there yet. Or it's like,
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
it's so good.
Well, so yeah, those are good. Like that was good chemistry, good actors.
It was probably what's his fucking name, John
Favreau.
Favreau. Yeah, that guy's probably the genius behind all that shit. Like he's
Favreau only directed the first and second Iron Man. I don't know what kind of. I don't know because Marvel, the MCU rather, has just fallen off and gotten like it's just kept like just been falling off, which just makes sense that they would like it couldn't go on forever.
yeah.
Like forget what happened. I forget which one came out. I don't remember if that third Spider-Man movie came out first or the Doctor Strange one came out.
That's when it was all over. Yeah.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange one came out. And I'm like, that was meh. And then Spider-Man came out. I'm like, this is good. And then everything since then, I just haven't cared for. Fantastic Four was okay. I liked it. I felt like they were like acknowledging that like they can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. So they went a bit of a different direction. But Superman, who I've never been a big Superman guy, but I like James Gunn, and truthfully I like DC more than Marvel. And Superman was fucking great, and I didn't expect to like it that much.
Yeah, everyone likes Superman. Superman is cool. I mean, he is literally just the super Jew of humanity. Like he is the Jewish superhero.
Well, no, he was written by Jews, and like that was the mentality. Like he's an immigrant. He came from somewhere different. He came here, but he embraced the idea of America. And what's the idea of America? It's about immigrants.
Yeah, but that was another thing. Like he only worked because he was raised by like blue collar, fucking like red blooded.
Did you see the
newest one? No,
yeah.
I didn't see the newest one.
See, you got to see it too, because like they did that where like his Earth parents, they're just two people from like Kansas.
Yeah,
like they're like, and like you see how you see like when he talks to them, like you understand why he's. Like he is like Superman to me is just a Boy Scout. He's just a good guy. He's just
like Captain America.
Even more so, yeah. Just like to do the right thing type of stuff, and like
because he can.
Yeah, and like in that movie, like his brief interaction with his Earth parents, you're like, that makes so much sense. Like that's why he is who he is. Like they're just Americana. They're just two random people from Kansas. Like that's why he's so goody two shoes.
Like make sure you say thank you, Clark. It's like thank you, man.
Yeah, and that's why he cares about like immigrants and people that like isn't like he cares about the ideals of America, but not like he's not like, well, if you're not from here, I don't want you here.
Yeah. Interesting. These people are really supplanting like the roles that like polytheistic pantheons kind of served. Like I always said this, like, maybe 200 years, we're going to be looking back at these DC Marvel heroes as like gods,
Well, I mean, the DC superheroes are gods. It's supposed to be like that. But,
yeah.
What was that movie? The Eternals by Marvel? The Eternals?
It flopped, yeah.
Did you watch it?
I think so. Maybe I just forgot, or maybe I fell asleep through it.
Awful, like one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
because like all their Eternals were supposed to be like,
but it was an important movie in the lore, honestly.
Well, it was until it flopped, and then they were like, "Well, let's start all over."
But story, I think narratively, like they can't take it back. Like they still establish it in the NCP lore,
no, they're taking
the
it back.
lore.
They did. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing anymore, Marvel. I kind of don't care. Like.
I mean, I'll still care if every time they bring back, say, like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, if they suck that in, or if they bring back like fucking.
Well, but that's stuff I like, yeah. But I just mean like
they'll find a way. They always find a way to suck people back in. Like I'm sure they'll find a way to bring back Chris Evans as Captain America and
sure, yeah,
Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. That's gonna happen.
He's Doctor Doom.
Yeah, he's Doctor Doom. Yeah,
I just don't. I'm just not happy with that. Like I'm sure he'll be great at it, but it's just like, can't you like. Aren't there different actors? Can't you just make someone else Doctor Doom? Like,
I think the whole point of that was
because Doctor Doom is so cool.
I think they just made a deal with Robert Downey Jr. Like, you're gonna come back, but like, you know, working with like short time scales, it's like, well, we got to bring Dr. Doom into play, and we also got to bring Robert Downey Jr.
They couldn't.
back, so.
I feel like they couldn't afford to bring him back as Iron Man, and also like him being an actor being smart. Like, I don't want to just be Iron Man for the rest of my life. So whatever. I'm not. It hasn't happened yet. It's just I'm very bullish on Marvel for the past few years.
Bearish.
It's
gonna suck, man. Fuck this shit. I'm done with MCU. Like, it was cool.
Want some good movies? I'll show you some good movies.
Yeah.
They MCU and Marvel. I mean, they're not MCU, but I've been watching some good stuff lately.
I just don't want this kind of like franchise to go on for more than like 30 years. Like, that to me is like, no. Like, we can't let that happen.
We're
like,
almost there.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, no, we
Yeah.
can't let that happen. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, like you got to do something different. You have to make better movies, and like I feel like they're starting to get it. That like, you know, we can't just keep making the same shit over and over again.
Unless they do and they start invading video games, which would be even like worse.
Well,
They
no.
set the groundwork already with like Spider-Man. You know, like Spider-Man with
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the movies, and like those were good. But they
I'm saying like starting their own video game shared universe with like the Marvel fucking thing. Like, give every hero their own title or titular video game.
Oh yeah,
It worked with Spider-Man, and they're trying to do it with Wolverine. It's probably, I think, no one.
Spider-Man was late. Like, no, it's not working that way because they made the Avengers game, and that game sucked. And they made a Guardians.
I heard a lot of people like that fucking bullshit.
That game's terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't good. I played it.
I'm sure. But the Spider-Man game was good.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, but it has nothing to do with their Spider-Man at all. Nothing.
True. I mean, if you
And then also then there's the Into the Spideyverse, and then that whole series, which is so cool. I watched the second one on a plane. I was so upset because it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm like, fuck. Like, I gotta wait like 2 years
to watch the next Spider-Verse
Yeah.
movie.
I was like, God, it's so good. I'm like, I don't know who to talk about this with.
So you like the Spider-Verse films?
Yeah, I love them. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They were good Spider-Man media. And in fact, it was probably the best Spider-Man has ever been on like a screen.
I agree. Yeah, no,
honestly, like there's
100%.
there hasn't been a better depiction of that franchise like on fucking screen media. Like,
yeah,
that was
into
good.
the Spideyverse and Across the Spideyverse, the second one. Like, I feel like that's the best Spider-Man that I've seen on a big screen.
Because they had everything. I mean, they literally
Yeah.
they even put in the Spider-Man meme. You know, they were like,
No, that's my favorite thing of all time at the end, where like
Yeah.
it's just like, I'm Spider-Man, no, I'm Spider-Man. They're pointing at each other.
they did everything. Like, they did. It was insane.
Yeah, that was cool.
Maybe Spider-Man just became the most meta vehicle in like the whole Marvel franchise.
Yeah, I don't get why. I feel like, you know what, maybe because I feel like Spider-Man was very meta, like because even when we were kids, like the Spider-Man show, like the whole what's her name, Madam
Yeah.
Web, like that was a storyline.
The different
in the cartoon.
versions of you, Spider-Man.
That's the earliest I can remember them doing that, like
Yeah.
in that type of media.
In fact, like Spider-Man was always in my childhood memories the most tragic character.
Should I order beer?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
He was always the most tragic character to me, you know, because every time I saw Spider-Man, like from my childhood memories, I was always like, "Yo, he's got like 6 arms mutated now, and it's like Mary Jane's got shot in the stomach."
My friend had a toy.
But this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, every single time, like every time I remember Spider-Man, I'm like, dude, Spider-Man lives a fucked up life. Like,
That's why everyone even like I said, I like DC. I like DC more, but Spider-Man is who I would relate to and was my favorite for a long time.
he's the best.
Like, yeah,
He's the best. He's my favorite Marvel hero of all time. You know why? Because he's a Queens kid like me. Well, now a Queens man who like got divorced
Queen's
and
man.
and
That's
like,
actually that makes it more real.
who got divorced and his wife is dead and also in a different alternate version reality of him he died tragically. So yeah, he's a tragic character from Queens, New York.
It's the other thing too. But also, like he's very very human, and like he's so much easier to empathize with.
Out of the Greek pantheon, who do you think he's most parallel to? I think Achilles. I think he's like literally like Achilles.
Yeah,
He always gets, you know, he's like capable of everything, but he's taken down by like one tragic flaw.
because he's us. Because he has to deal with real life,
Yeah.
regular life. Like it's in the way.
He's like, oh no, my
Yeah.
aunt is gonna get murdered.
That's right. Like
by
that's
this.
right. Like yeah, he's just us. Like shit just gets in the way.
Yeah. It's like I could join the Avengers right now, but I got my SATs like next month, and like I'm fucked. Like if I don't do that, I mean I get a whole career with a superhero, but my aunt is going to be like super depressed, especially after she lost her husband, and I got to do this, and after she dies, even then it's like I got to do it in her honor. I got to just be a regular guy because that's what she would have wanted from me. Yeah, he's just cursed. Spider-Man is just cursed. He's the most cursed Marvel hero.
He has I feel like he has the heaviest shackles of.
Yeah.
Of life than any other superhero ever.
Well, he's the most likable cursed Marvel hero. They're actually all the Marvel heroes are profoundly like. Look at Reed Richards, he's fucked up. Look at Hank Pym, he's fucked up. They're all fucked up.
All of Marvel superheroes are all of them are more relatable than DC heroes, mostly.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man is just more than anybody else.
The only happy Marvel characters I could think of would be like Squirrel Girl or like fucking Deadpool.
Well, Deadpool for the Deadpool the most.
Yeah, because Deadpool always figures out solutions to his unhappiness. That's what makes him so great. He's like, yeah, well, at least I figured this out, like.
Well, Deadpool doesn't take life too seriously. Deadpool knows he's in a comic.
Yeah.
Deadpool knows.
And Squirrel Girl is pretty powerful. Then there's also Gwenpool. Gwenpool is pretty OP. Yeah, those are the only happy characters. Everyone else is pretty fucking miserable in the Marvel universe.
Because they're supposed to be real people. They have real life problems.
Yeah. In the DC universe, all the heroes, at least they find some modicum of peace, Superman has his Fortress of Solitude. Wonder Woman can always go back home to her goddess lands. Batman has his Batcave.
Yep. Happy people.
I mean,
the Fortress of Solitude, the Batcave, happy.
Aquaman has fucking Atlantis, which is pretty epic.
Like that's yeah, but he's a stranger. Like when he's here, like he's a god. Like that's what I like with the last Batman movie is I thought he was what's his name, Robert Pattinson, like playing Bruce Wayne at times, so it was a little too sad and emo-ish, but. I just like how they hammered home the fact that like he's obsessed with being Batman and like he doesn't. You could see how he doesn't sleep and he really doesn't care about everything else.
It's like being a rock star in the '90s. It's like I gotta do this, babe.
Yeah, and like his like other movies, like Alfred's always like you have to. What about this? What about this? And he's like I don't care. But like in that one, like he's like I don't care. He's like, what are you fucking stupid? He's like you can't do this unless you do that. And he's like I just don't care. I'm worried about that new Batman movie, the next one. I don't think it'll be as good.
Who's in it?
I don't know they may have. I don't even really finish writing it. I think they might have just finished writing it, but like it's Robert Pattinson.
Really?
Yeah, the Batman. You saw the Batman?
Yeah, I saw it. It wasn't really that memorable.
Wow.
No, I mean, I was dealing with shit while I was watching it, so that's why. If I paid attention to it, maybe I would have enjoyed it. It's just
that's different. I'm
so like sucked into like shared universe cape shit stuff, so I'm like, that just seemed like a one-off. I really would have liked if Joker and like Batman, Robert Pattinson Batman would like cross over in some way, but whatever.
Oh, that? Oh.
If that happened, that would be cool.
No.
But now they ruined the Joker, like
yeah, they did.
They ruined him.
Oh, they ruined that.
Yeah.
Like. That first one shouldn't like. That first one's only good because it's. Everyone says it's Taxi Driver, but like it's also King
Comedy.
Yeah. You watching King Comedy?
You told me about it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
It was basically the same fucking movie.
It's the same. When people are like, "It's Taxi Driver," I'm like, no, it's King Comedy.
It's the same movie.
Same movie. And like that, yeah. With that first Joker, I feel like too, like I had no expectations.
Maybe both Joker movies were just a big fat fucking farce.
That's what I feel like. I didn't see the second one, but from reading it, I'm like, it sounded like it's just a joke. He's just fucking with everybody. Like, that's because he always knew it was never going to be like
a serious
Joker anyway. Yeah, and like I just feel like that's what it was, and it's just one worked better than the other. Like that's the thing with that second one. Like he was really telling everyone to go fuck themselves, and people weren't happy because they paid money to go see it. So it's hard to like. Be a farce and people feel like they wasted their money and time.
I mean,
like I'm sure if I watched it at home by myself, I'd be like, "Oh, it's hysterical!" Like,
yeah, people paid money to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if I were to like rationalize that movie, I'd be like, this only makes sense if I was the one making this movie, and I was like, what if the Joker wanted to make a movie about himself to just piss people off? How would he do it? And he would do it just like this. He's like, yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
It's like, I'm the Joker, and I'm making a movie about myself. Here we go. And in the second movie, he's like, watch me get butt fucked. I'm the Joker.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I was saying before, like I thought it'd be like like they were like it'd be a musical. I'm like, I could see that, like that'd be a way to do it, but they just didn't do it the right way. And like, yeah, when it's a big Hollywood movie and like
I'm gonna have Lady Gaga in it.
Like when you're supposed to make money, that's not going to work. Like,
well, they still made their money and they still released it, and people are gonna fucking probably watch it hundreds of years to come, and it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, like Marvel, fucking Marvel, it's cursed. The MCU, man, it got me so high, but it's truly a cursed product. Like that fucking whole thing is just so fucked up. But I guess comics are kind of fucked up too. I mean, like I look at Marvel.
Yeah, there's highs and lows in comics. Like it's not, you can't.
I mean, Marvel comics were always a vehicle for propaganda anyway. Like who am I kidding? Like I'm acting like their roots were anything short of like slop. You know, like
propaganda, but like it's anti-establishment propaganda.
Not always. It's just what made money. It's what sold. And sometimes like anti-authoritarianism sold, and sometimes like pro-authoritarianism sold. Sometimes like the idea of, say, the Avengers. I think the Avengers is a very pro-authoritarian idea, but they reconciled that when people bent the other way, and they were like, "Oh, there's a civil war now because like now people are not okay with them."
That's why DC's version better with Justice League and then the U.S. government and like Hadimus and stuff like that. Like, I like that shit better.
How did they do it? Well, like what was different? Like they like half like they all unanimously agreed like we got to make a compromise, or
well, that's it. Like it's just like Justice League, like you've seen them like do good, and like the government doesn't like trust them because like they can't control these superheroes. So there's a whole government project bent on trying to watch them, control them, whatever. And like that's Amanda Waller, and also, because I'm also thinking the show. But it gets abused by Lex Luthor.
Well, I mean, like first of all, with DC, there's less heroes, and there's less like street level heroes. Yeah,
less
DC,
street level, but not less heroes.
There's
you ever watch this League Unlimited?
Yeah. There's a lot of fuckers in there, but they're all got like godlike abilities.
Yeah.
In Marvel,
there's no street level. Yeah, there's no Luke Cage. There's no
Daredevil.
Jessica Jones.
Whereas in DC, they're all like, so it makes more sense that they would be all, because the problems they deal with are on a much.
They have
higher,
a space station in the sky. Like
they're more powerful than the fucking UN, honestly.
That's a more honest, like, you know, we have to control them. We can't let them like do this, and that also gives them that inner monologue. Well, like we have to bend to a certain extent, even though like we're not truly bending. Like we have to make them feel comfortable. But then you have things like people like Martian Manhunter who are just like, what? Like, why?
You know what I think would really make like fucking the Justice League, like a modern take of it, really good is if Batman was in constant contact. Like, yeah, he's like with the Justice League or whatever, but he's also in contact with like the CIA, BSD, KGB or whatever, like all the intelligence networks of the world, because he's like, I represent.
Because he just
he cares about humanity, you know, like he doesn't really necessarily care about like these fucking aliens' interests or like these gods.
Well, he's always like, a satellite member of the Justice League. So like, yeah, actually, I would like that. Like he's in touch with every intelligence organization because that's
who they rely on. Like he's basically the liaison for humanity with the fucking Justice League.
Yeah, and they
don't do that enough in the cartoons. Like they don't like Invincible, you know, like they really honed in on like the superheroes' relationship with the government.
Yeah,
Batman could do really good with that if they're gonna do like a modern iteration. They have to.
You could. It's just like, but that's the thing too. Like he's just Batman, so he doesn't answer to them, but like he works with all of them because he would also want all the information possible.
The best story for Justice League in a Batman modern sense would be like, first Batman goes to war with the government because they're like, you can't do this, you're just a guy, blah, blah, blah. And then once the Justice League scale comes into play, that's when the government says, all right, Batman, you got to be our guy in this craziness, you know, because you're the only one who could do it. Like Tony Stark, pretty much, you know, like that would be the way to do it. But Batman has to be literally like in bed with the CIA and the Mossad.
No, not like that. No. Batman and the Mossad. How dare you? Never.
No. I mean, he has to at least do business with them because, like, you can't expect.
Not do business.
It can't be fucking.
Now you're losing me.
I'm saying it can't be fucking Clark Kent. Like, Batman is Bruce Wayne also for a reason. Like, they operate in like a billionaire net worth field in the world. You know.
Oh my god, did Bruce Wayne do business with
Elon Musk? Yeah. Like Bruce Wayne would be like.
Can't do this.
Elon Musk is like Lex Luthor, I think, and like Bruce Wayne would be like,
he is like
God damn it, there's Elon Musk.
He is. If he's anybody, he's Lex Luthor.
Yeah. And anyone like that dude would fear a guy like like Batman. I don't know, but either way, like I'm sure there's guys that could do a lot of what Batman could do. They just don't put on a fucking spandex costume.
Yeah.
Anyway, that concludes the final part. We've had a full episode. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. And God willing, see you in the next one.
Good night.